Crow Storm from Miami Big D. Great execution coming in from Miami. And Renekton is just too far up. It's just in a bad spot as well. This is going to be Baron going over to Miami here.
The way we're acting is like they should just be sitting in base. They can't go anywhere. Miami is just always there, getting over the walls. Troy can just run through everything. He's an absolute monster. His third item is going to be a Locket. What an absolute frontline unit, Troy here. And if this guy is an MVP, man, these 3 games from Troy here, a Grandmasters player, by the way, showing us how the best of the best do it. And not on a sexy pick either. This is set mid lane, a nerfed set. People won't even take this champion top or jungle that often because of the nerfs, but Troy taking it mid, running what I believe to be full tenacity, and absolutely hard countering the double AP that York pulled out in their mid 2v2.
The thing is, set is still actually a stable pick by LCK teams. We saw BDD still play the set mid. We see even some LPL teams are still playing it at Worlds.
Yeah, but mid mostly, right?
Yeah, mostly mid. So it's nice to see that Troy and Miami as a whole are pulling out the set mid here.
Yeah, it just makes them such a dangerous team to prep against. I'm in admiration of their just dedication to the game, their adaptability, their willingness to practice different styles. Oh, what a hook.
Wild Growth, not going to be able to do much. This
Big
might
taunt.
just be the kills here. Ultimate from Samira is actually doing so much damage even though she's not being able to move her champion around. Triple kill coming in for Samira. This might be the quadra kill. Quadra kill on Samira, looking for the penta. Going after Laser King. Is this the penta kill?
Penta kill!
And here we have it in the game 3 of Miami versus York University. IBN on the Samira is going to find the penta kill here to end the series.
A penta kill to get Miami in the money. That's going to be the game to advance them into the finals. The Nexus turrets will drop. That's going to be game over. Decisive victory. Miami, they do it all. It doesn't matter the champion, the style, the draft, the situation, the goal lead, the goal deficit. They find a way every time. Their macro is proper. Their Troy is huge. And they might just pick people out of the fountain here. Why not?
And they're just playing with their food. They're patting KDA. And are they going to end the game, or are they just
gonna walk away?
Oh, my.
They still win this and end, though.
Oh, here comes Miami Big D with the Crow Storm looking for more kills. Luigi Mesh is running for his life. And the fear coming through. Probably the Wild Growth onto the Caitlyn to keep her alive, but she is just getting deleted for the whole squad of Miami University. They don't even have their Samira. And another kill. Lucin's going to find the kill. Second AD carry of the team. Finds the kill onto the Galio. Renekton finds the Ruthless Predator stun onto Miami Big D, but he's going to flash out. The tank set finally goes down. Shutdown for Caitlyn. But you know what? Miami just shut down York University.
And that's because it's playoffs, but wait. They're already in pick ban. I distracted you.
Oh, man.
I distracted you from this Quinn Fiddlesticks. They must be trolling us.
I mean, it's Miami. They're up 2-0. They're just limit testing at this point, right?
Yes, they are.
I mean, hold on. Maybe it's not too troll. Hold on.
No, like...
Because the Quinn is a really strong counter matchup into the Renekton. That's probably why they picked it.
No, definitely. And it's a Chinese pro thing that we've seen Bin and Zoom do. So when Renekton gets first pick, they're practicing. Can Lucent really abuse a really great Renekton player? Because we know that chicken delivery is exactly that. And we saw the Samira getting locked in response to a Caitlyn pick. The Lulu comes in for a Luros. We've seen that multiple times. Answered by a Blitzcrank. So Samira, Blitzcrank. Do you have any experience with Samira? What are your thoughts on the champion going into this game?
Well, I know Samira, depending on how early they drafted it. Well, actually, no, I take that back.
I think it was 4.
One thing I've noticed when I was playing in competitive with the Samira pick is that she hard counters Ornn. Like you cannot play Ornn into Samira.
Yeah.
Because you will never get an engage off. Projectiles, right. And I know that Samira's passive is, I don't know exactly how it works, but apparently she works off of other people's CC. If someone gets CC, she knocks them up with her passive or something. I don't know what specifically. I haven't played the champion myself quite yet,
right?
Except for one jungle Samira game where I hard fed. But we don't talk about that.
And on top of Samira, I think it needs one more nerf. I think it's actually getting one. And this is Game 3 of Day 1, Round 1 of the League Saturday Series playoffs, where the winner of this series is in the money. Keck, this is a money game for Miami.
And they're looking for a cheesy invade. Unfortunately, Laser King is ready for this. Drops the ward in the tri-bush, sees that they're trying to go for this cheesy invade. Unfortunately, Blitzcrank won't find anybody.
You know what I haven't seen out of Miami, and we've seen almost everything out of this team? Level 1 late invade on the red buff, the enemy red buff, when you are this red side here. We see a lot of pro teams do it. They draft things like Lilia, who can go kill Raptors, get level 2, and then win the fight. But even if you don't have a Lilia, say you have a Nidalee or Graves or something, you can still late invade that red buff. And it's another split map type situation like we saw in Game 1. I have yet to see Miami late invade that red buff. So something to look out for in the future. I wonder if that's in their wheelhouse. I'm sure it is. But we got some bush hook.
Some cheese shenanigans. Cleave with the great Blitzcrank pull, but forces the flash onto Ayla Rose.
And actually, not a necessary flash whatsoever. That's pretty much the brunt of their combos.
Oh no, it ain't gonna make it. It ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think I know who they trying to.
Been talking about Samir for a couple of weeks now. Teams, I think, are finally ready. It gets answered by Misfortune.
We're going right back to Challenge City. We saw the stage a lot in the last set.
Oh, you got to the foot. Oh, and
Hello everyone, I'm over here today, that's why that screen was empty. I'm Annie,
I'm Tibbers.
and this is the LSS podcast. So, happy Halloween everyone. We're really excited just to chat about all things League of Legends. I think we're going to start off by chatting a little bid about LSS. First, League of Legends, guys, I want to hear your stories. When did you get into League of Legends? We'll start with Trifolger over here.
Oh, we're going that far back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't know we were doing this.
It doesn't matter. You guys know your own personal
That's
stories.
good host work,
Yeah.
by
Thank
the
you.
way. Like,
Alright.
this is going to be off the cuff.
Thank you.
So, actually, I think it'd be more fitting if Bobby started his.
Okay.
Because
What? No way.
he's actually the one who introduced me to League of Legends.
True.
You just want more time to think about your answer. League, okay. So Jake introduced us to it, saying, you know, hey guys, I found this new game. I think you guys would like it. He knew I would like it, especially because of like the mind games involved, maybe, or just how the competitive ladder was good.
Yep.
Season 4, so when Braum was coming out, and then all the boys jumped into it, right? What do you remember about like us starting playing?
Yeah.
Dude, I
what
kind of remember it too.
Yeah, what I remember about starting playing is that Timmy and I lived together, and we were living near campus at CSU. And whenever we were taking classes, Bobby, Chris, a bunch of our buddies would just be hanging out over at our place, you know, passing time doing homework. And Bob Diddy would be up on the counter playing League of Legends on his MacBook.
Like at the kitchen
man. Can
island.
you imagine
he
Oh,
had
hell
a
yeah.
MacBook,
MacBook,
and he was
baby.
sitting there playing. And didn't you use the tracking pad for a while?
No, I never used
Are
the
you
tracking
sure?
pad. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sure.
alright,
Maybe
alright.
like day 1, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a platinum on a MacBook, which is not a big deal. I had a player at Cleveland State who was like high elo on a laptop.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's
People can
impressive.
do amazing things.
That
Yeah,
is
Yuri was on a
crazy.
laptop?
Yuri was,
Yeah.
And
as far
like
as I'm
not
aware.
a gaming laptop.
No. Well,
Zach maybe wouldn't call it one. I have no idea.
Zach
Yeah.
had a gaming laptop when you got into League. You decided you couldn't do it on the MacBook anymore. I
Yeah,
kept playing
I
on
mean,
a MacBook.
Yeah, that shit
For
sucks on a
anybody who
MacBook.
doesn't know, because I've never mentioned this before, I'm a serial spectator. I love esports and I love video games, but I love watching them. I get into them like I get into movies. So like Zach and I, when we game, Trifold and I, when we game, like he games and I watch, and that's my gaming time. So I started playing League with a little after Bobby and Zach, and I just played support, and I, never leveled up. I'm finally level 30 now, but I'm not ranked because
Yeah, it
She's
took
like,
only
you know,
like 7 years.
She's like silver level. I'm just fine. Maybe a little
my
lower.
mechanics are not great. I got to be honest with you. That's my worst. I played a Nautilus ARAM, and I popped off, and I was like, dude, I could fucking play this.
Dude, that's why they make those champions like Nautilus, Darius. I'm looking at all you Darius players, all of you Nautilus, but Yumi. You could play Yumi. You could probably get like really high elo Yumi. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because when it comes to champs like that, you're talking a lot about just
Just
game
decision
knowledge,
making.
decision making,
Just
game
decision
knowledge,
making.
and less about mechanics.
Yeah.
See, that
But-
is where I thrive, because I hear all these guys. I don't know. I feel like I'm like always listening to you guys.
No, I
and
agree.
I'm
You know
always,
how to
like,
play.
absorbing,
If you
you
know how to
If
play.
you were to sit down, you and Larry, in front of a computer and say play League of Legends, like your game knowledge is so much higher just
Yeah.
from how often you're just exposed to us talking about the game and
Yeah.
how much you're spectating the game being
Yeah.
played.
And a lot of people could probably relate to you as a serial spectator, like really enjoy watching and like understand the game, but don't have the time to like put in the hours to play
Yeah.
a ton.
I can't grind. The only game I've ever like actually ground. I ground
Grinded?
Candy
That I
Crush.
grinded.
Classic.
Don't judge me,
Not
people.
sure.
Classic Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. Zach's mom got me into it. No, I'm just kidding. So LSS. I think I kind of just want to talk about like how you guys felt at the beginning and versus how you guys felt at the end, because I know like my expectations were exceeded, like for sure by the
Mine-
end of the series.
mine too, I think.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
we
didn't-
thought that it was going to go well because
Yeah.
we were excited about League of Legends stuff going on. I think we just lost. Look at me over here.
Oh
I
my
don't-
god! I just
so,
assumed there was an issue.
I don't know what it's like over here on
Sick
the
graphics.
On
video
the front of the
side.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm used to like, wait a second, something
Something's
random
wrong.
just popped
Yeah.
up. What's going on?
So anyway, those were Trifolge's sick.
We got Larry
updated
chiming in over here.
graphics.
Yeah, you don't realize who you guys sitting over here. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
say. Like,
I know
you
things
guys
are gonna be
just-
on point.
Just hang out, do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yo,
sure.
these candles smell so good.
Oh my god, are they?
Yeah, don't they?
Don't burn yourself,
Yeah.
Ang.
Oh, oh.
Jeez, I know you
Oh.
can bend fire, but like,
Yeah, watch this.
chill.
Okay, we're not
Good
that
job.
extreme yet. We'll get there though.
You're welcome.
One thing at a time.
So yeah, so you were saying you thought we were gonna do well, but
Yeah,
having it
I was
change-
thinking that we would do well because pulling a lot of the schools and teams that we did in for the league adds, more of like a fan base for students or viewers of other leagues. The teams that we've had have participated in other amateur leagues, pretty much all of them, I think. So, they had some fan base for people to come in and root for the teams, and that makes it a lot more fun. So I figured we would have some decent viewership, and then I think it was after a couple weeks in,
think
we were
week
hitting
3,
like 300
yeah,
viewers, and
yeah.
everyone was enjoying the league. People were, saying that the production was hype, that the games were hype, that
Yeah.
people were in chat cheering up their teams. That was awesome. Like the feedback that we were getting from you guys, the viewers, was nice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
For me, it's like more of a like, are we gonna thrive thing? Like, I don't care so much about how the first season went, but the fact that we're gonna have another season and teams are gonna come back means that we're probably gonna have a third season and more teams are gonna want to come back. And this to me just like is the beginning of a story of like the best competition that we can get in this league.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was amazing that a lot of people are watching and
Yeah.
tuning in and having fun. But for me, I don't even, like, process it all. I'm just, like, on to the next day,
Yeah.
on to the next thing. Like, I feel like I don't even give it the time to even, like, process it. I just appreciate that there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And we'll
And how can we improve it? But
later
Yeah.
today we'll give you guys some more info and
Ooh.
sneak peeks about what's going to be going on for season 2. But for now, we'll kind of slide past that. But that is like, season to season as we're doing this and as things are improving for us, we're learning new things each time we do this that can make it a better experience for us, the players, the viewers, everybody. And to think that we can come back season 2 and have some, our goal is to be the top tier of competition that you can get, in our area or in the amateur scene. And, maybe we can get there. And I think we
yeah.
can.
And we've always talked, like the three of us specifically, we've always talked about, Cleveland is growing and Cleveland like has a lot of really cool stuff happening. And I feel like why not, cultivate this hub of esports in Cleveland
Let
and
me
like
tell
be a
you.
part of it.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought up Cleveland. Let me tell you guys about Cleveland. I feel like because Cleveland's Rust Belt, we are in like the middle of winter, like terrible weather. We have 3 sports teams. So we have Browns, Indians, Cavs. There's a ton of reasons why like Northeast Ohio is an indoor sports like gold mine
Yeah.
because we have more people than anyone who year round, like we have 8 months of winter. Like
what it
we
feels like.
just grind, like we grind video games. So wrestling is my example. I come from wrestling, Northeast Ohio. Ohio's a sick wrestling state. Like,
Because you just do it indoors.
yeah, it's indoor. It's a winter sport. Like all these reasons, we just have grinders. Like the Rust Belt. Like you gotta work. Like for us, you have to work hard to get to work 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, we know how to work hard at shit. So the whole sports in, like, Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, I think, can translate into esports. And we're going to have, like, a ton of players in our area
who are spending a lot of time inside.
Yeah.
who are
Yes.
just good, who are just sick, like, and love to compete. And because we're not, like, LA, we're not there yet, but that's what all this shit's for.
Yeah. And you know what? That actually makes me think of kind of talking about the pipeline from that traditional sports have that esports doesn't have yet, not in North America. We have all these kids that you guys are talking about who are inside playing their games, getting really, really good, and they don't have any access to like, okay, how do I get into pro? How do I start making money? I mean, besides streaming or knowing someone who's like in a collegiate team. So, I mean, I feel like we could improve. There's room for improvement, but how would we do that? And what's the best way to do it?
So you're talking about the pipeline now. That's like this big thing.
Yeah, we have a lot
we're-
we could jump into.
Yeah, we
There's-
have so much
yeah.
to talk about, but just,
Let's-
you know.
Yeah, let's get into
let's
it.
do
This
it.
is something we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
You gotta say unpack. And,
Let's unpack this.
Let's unpack this. All right, we're on a podcast. You gotta say unpack like 25 times.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
but
we need to bring
Good
up our
note.
list of podcast terms.
the pipeline
Add
issue.
that to the podcast term.
The pipeline issue is being like addressed. So I hate when people say, and then they say something. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole, but I think the issue is being addressed because the public is really genuinely outcrying for development of like North American talent, not just importing, not just having 2 decent teams and 8 shit teams every year. Like we need to develop everything ground up so we have better players. And I think it's gotten to the point where like media execs at pro teams are saying, hey guys, it'd be really like media friendly. What do you call it? Like PR.
Yeah.
It'd be very PR points would go up if we like if we like implement programs that are gonna bolster collegiate. So Cleveland
Yeah.
State, for example, was invited to a tournament by Evil Geniuses. They reached out to us, and then Cloud9 is doing. You could pull it up, maybe. It's one of the tabs I got you. This was really exciting. Yeah,
Cloud9
sorry to
is-
just
oh,
like.
okay.
Yeah, let
flop
me look
that on
through
you,
this,
but-
make
Yeah,
sure
no,
I
that's
pull it
fine.
up from the start. Yeah. This is it here. So this is actually really cool.
And they're doing a bunch of. It's not just like one thing that they're trying to implement.
Dude, it's a ton of stuff. And
Yeah.
this all just came, October 29th, so this was 2 days ago. And, like, what do you know? It's because North America was bopped out of Worlds, like, almost instantly. And so all these organizations are rushing to, like, implement these things. There's intercollegiate tournaments, university Discord. Like, you don't see the Cleveland Cavaliers associating themselves with college. You don't see the Warriors or the Lakers helping out colleges. But for us, it's like a family thing. Like
And
they
they-
need to pass it down, and they're gonna. And
They
they're
probably
starting
are
now.
in certain aspects.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
sure.
players
Like,
and
allowing them to
teams
come to
maybe going out and
combines
doing
and
some
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But not to this level where
Right.
they're gonna. This is basically creating a scouting grounds for
Yeah.
the pro league from the
Yeah.
collegiate level.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before. This is going to This is also including the high school scene at a certain point. These
Yeah.
colleges with this kind of eyes, now you're talking, oh, well, if you come to Ohio State to play on our League of Legends team, that means that you're going to be in the Cloud9
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
intercollegiate tournament where professional teams are going to be having their eyes looking for the
Right.
best players.
And they're gonna have scouts whose job it is to watch those, and they'll get a list of like, all right, this kid's D1, this kid's Masters, this kid's GM. Like, I'm gonna watch these 3 players, and then maybe get their GPAs from their whatever. Are they a good student? Maybe bring them into a call, talk to them, and like figure them out. And I mean, imagine the scouting that goes on. There's kids in high school that are so good at basketball that they already made it,
Yep.
and they're like 16,
Yep.
and it's like, oh, you're 6'9", like, okay, you're already famous, you already made it, because scouts are just like,
Yep.
they have it down to a science.
Yeah.
Well, we could do something like that. We're just not yet, but it starts here.
And that it,
1 second, sorry. Larry, my hotkey isn't working to switch back to our comm scene.
I think what I was.
Oh, whoa.
We,
Hello, guys.
oh.
I'm in
we
the
just
middle
wanted
now.
to move. We weren't comfortable.
I'm creeping through the middle. I'm like trying to scoot to you guys. You guys like scoot away from me.
Like, but you
You
stink.
can move.
You stink.
That mic should pick you up if you scoot over a little, but.
Go down.
Oh.
All right, keep talking there. All right. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So colleges doing this C9 program, doing all this stuff, they now are going to want to start looking for the best high school players, and that's what we have to understand here is you don't just get into pro. You don't just get into pro play. You have to start somewhere, and it goes
It's-
all the way back.
Yeah, it's professional gaming, so it's a lifestyle. So it's these micro like habits you have to start forming at a young age to be a professional. Period.
So, we've had this up for a second, but I was seeing, like, here they're talking about the C9 Training Grounds College Fair. Like, what does that, like, how hard does that impact collegiate teams? Or is that talking about bringing in young kids, like high school age students, to college fairs to look at schools? Like, that's what I'm...
Let's see. It says, basically a youth initiative program that brings together teens for a unique online training camp experience. Players have expressed a growing interest in considering esports programs when selecting colleges or universities. So they'll get to showcase their esports program to the Cloud9 players.
So basically, you're getting scouted at a youth level before you're even getting scouted at a collegiate level.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're like expediting the scouting process because like it's online. So why not just do it tomorrow? Like,
Yeah.
why not just do it?
Yeah, that's
They're
such a good
just,
point.
Like,
Which is
There's
kind of like the
no-
whole thing. That's where all the criticism is coming from. Is they're like, NA is basically just grabbing talent that they
Importing,
think can win.
yeah.
But the reason that this talent that's imported is so high, like the players are so skilled, is because they're being
oh yeah,
like they're taking youth players and molding them into pros versus just trying to grab the pros that they can.
Mm-hmm. So Katie brought up high school. I don't know how much we want to go into this pipeline stuff. It's huge for us, but for your average listener, it's just
Yeah, no, we can
another
talk about
topic,
something else
but-
after this.
high school. I think is exceptionally difficult because you don't have student leaders starting the bodies that can compete
Yeah.
and get themselves out there. So in college, you can be a student and found a program, and then all you need is your buddies and
Yeah.
some paperwork. But in high school, you need a faculty member,
Yeah.
right? So imagine, like, little Johnny Esports goes up to his science teacher and says, like, we want to start an esports club. That's like a non-starter almost because it'll take that science teacher so long to make the connections to get their kids out in the high school leagues competing, blah, blah, blah. Because you got to imagine your average faculty member at a high school is just probably
Does
and,
not.
and they're
completely
not
lost.
taking and then the kids aren't necessarily taking the initiative to like push this.
They don't know.
Right,
Like the
right.
kids, like
I
I
would not
didn't know
know.
what to do when I
Yeah.
started it, and like
Yeah.
eventually even like got to where I got. So the process in high school, I think, is even more complicated. But that's why I think scholarships are the best place to start because if you have incentives to go to school and college to play, then high school will have to.
Yeah, it's trickling downward.
Yeah,
so
Right,
it'll have to
exactly.
trickle down.
something
Yes.
like this, bringing this option to youth, that you could be scouted by pros and like go through these like fairgrounds and training camps,
Yeah.
basically. That makes faculty members and stuff see it in a much more like
Yep.
open
They
and
have to pay
broader light,
attention.
rather than just being like,
Yeah.
oh, like I don't really know where to start. How do I figure this out?
Yeah.
Then your kids are like, oh, all you got to do is go to Battlefy and find
Yeah.
tournaments there. Like, and the teacher's like, what the hell is Battlefy?
And so at the end of the day, it comes down to money, right? Like a lot of things do, especially in America. And the best way to get talent funneled by money, I think, is scholarship for college.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they got to do next.
So speaking of college and collegiate teams, which by the way, props to Diddy for starting a collegiate club team, which competes and everything. He's the head coach now. Like he just literally decided one day he wanted to do that. And what was really cool was I was in a club in in college, and he came to me for a lot of questions, like about just like, oh, what does this thing mean, and when is this meeting? But he literally from the ground up started a League of Legends club at Cleveland State, and now they compete, and they were in the LSS. So that's really sick.
Oh, thanks.
Props. Round of applause
Yeah.
for our good
Appreciate it.
friend Diddy.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Um,
work, and
Yeah.
now you're not only are you dealing with the faculty of people who have no idea, they have no understanding of gaming or competitive gaming,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to put together a program with them that they just really don't understand, and that
Yeah.
is like a whole nother challenge in
Right.
itself. Yeah.
So
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, well,
Sorry.
I was gonna switch. So if there's last things you guys want to say,
Well, all right, quickly. So Cleveland State is still it's just a club,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not this big thing, really. We compete.
not yet.
We compete, and we are a sports club at a university.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone out there listening can go do that too. Like I said, all you need to do is be a student most of the time.
Yeah, give them a little breakdown of like how
You just
like what is the broad step by step that if somebody right now is at a college who has no esports anything and they want to get a team started on their campus.
It really starts with like what department you're gonna be in. For us, it was sports club, so we were in the rec department. So it starts with asking questions, emailing, and like doing the online stuff, and then following up with phone calls, and then walking in there and talking to people. And if you do that enough, and you're diligent about it, and don't just like shrug things off and put things aside, and then
Yeah, if you shrug off,
Persistence.
if you talk to one person and they tell you something's going to get done and then you don't hear from them and then you just shrug it off like, okay, now I've waited a month, like you need to be in there. You need to get back in there and be you're talking to the wrong person the first
Right,
time.
like-
you need
Right.
to figure it
if
out.
it feels like a dead end, like just try something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
because
like, go
that's
another
what it
way.
will feel like when you're dealing with people who have no grasp of esports or
And
Yeah.
that's in anything in esports, right? If
Right.
it feels like a dead end, just
Yep.
like keep trying, keep going for it, just a different angle.
yeah,
So-
Yeah.
yeah.
Another thing is, I wouldn't have been able to do it without Zach.
No,
And,
that's so true. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Zach. What he did for us was a lot of the graphics work, a lot of help with me on Discord, like anything online in the digital world. Like I'm not the best with, so helping like the two of us together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, how it
Good,
goes.
good little dynamic duo.
Yeah.
For sure.
Go ahead.
We should talk about Worlds by the way too, because imagine
We
you're
will.
listening to this. Worlds just ended a little bit ago.
Okay,
They're
we will
probably,
talk about Worlds. We have a lot of stuff to talk about Worlds, so hang on to your pants. Hang on to your pants. Okay, let's just talk about LSS. I want to go through our top favorite moments. The three of us collaboratively. Diddy didn't just come up with these ideas. We all did. The top 3 moments of LSS. Just the top 3 plays, like just good games.
We'll start from
Number 3.
our number 3, and we'll go up to our number 1.
Okay, so number 3, this is Miami Redhawks versus Bar Esports. Week 5, game 2. This game was so close. We thought Bar was gonna win and then go to a game 3. It was
one of
super
the
hard.
reasons. Sorry to cut you off
No,
right
you're
at the
fine.
end there. One of the reasons this is a top 3 moment is because this was the first map that looked losable for Miami,
Yes.
and looking back now, it was the closest they actually came to losing.
Yes.
And it just shows you that you can get this close to beating them, but if you see how these 3 blue members are walking in the jungle, if you walk into that jungle, it takes them a half a second to just snap on you. It's really insane. So yeah, let's fight.
Let's do it.
Oh, we're missing game audio. Can we bring game audio in for this NDI? Mm-hmm. Let me see one thing real quick.
Go down to the NDI and hit line, NDI line. Audio source.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that on system audio and then go down to the actual audio.
Oh, here?
Not right click it, just click it. And then change that to NDI.
No options.
No option.
Mm-mm.
Can we just watch it without
Yeah, we could do no
without
audio.
casting? And
All right, guys. Just bear with us for 1 minute here while we. I think having the audio on it will.
Be worse.
what if
Be
we just
worth-
have
yeah,
Bobby
for sure.
live cast it?
Walk
Yeah,
us
on
through
the
it.
spot.
I could have us. No, I could just do like a. I don't know.
You could do
I'd
it
rather-
casual.
I-
Not you don't have to cast. All right,
Alright,
never mind.
I know I wouldn't have to
Never mind.
cast.
You know what? He wasn't prepared to cast today.
I'd rather not.
He's so good at it though. But yeah, fuck it. I guess. We're just. Am I allowed to curse?
It's
Yeah.
cheesy. How corny is that? I'll
is an
cast
adult
it
talk
live,
show.
guys.
What'd you
If
say?
you haven't heard enough of my casting, I'll just cast live during the
During the
I don't know. I
podcast,
don't know.
yeah. If that's why you're here is for Diddy's commentary, it's coming soon, live.
Hang on to your pants, people. Should that be my new tagline?
Hold on.
Hang on to
Season
your
2
pants.
of LSS.
Hang on to your pants.
Hang on to your pants.
Oh.
Hang on to your boxers. I love that.
So, how did you come up with Holy Boxers?
Bruh, I gotta be honest. I don't know if I want to put this man on blast, but he used to keep boxers so long they would have holes in them.
I'm sorry. I
He
asked
would
that.
not let me throw them away, and so
It's a fair question.
when I, yeah, I think it's fair. So when I came up with, I think it was when I was playing Albion, I needed like an in-game name, and I used to be Kitten Lover on on Instagram on League of Legends. So I decided to switch to Holy Boxers because it was real to me. It spoke to my heart.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Same with socks. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't go shopping often. If
Well,
I've got
he doesn't do it anymore. But anyway, here's the clip. Let's see if.
no audio.
Okay.
All right, we'll come back to the clips and
Yeah,
let's
that's
move
fine.
on to something else for
Okay,
a
let's
second
talk.
here.
Do you want to jump right into Worlds talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could talk
Because
about
like
those.
if I was watching this, I would want to know what we thought about Worlds.
Okay.
I think
Um.
I can give you guys a quick breakdown.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bob.
I was up at 6 this morning watching the games. Opening ceremony. It's pretty cool, I guess.
Which we will watch that here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we get-
yeah.
All right. Opening ceremony was pretty cool. First draft. So it was all like Damon was favorites,
Mhm.
but if you had hype in your heart for like the Miracle run, Suning was looking good every week, looking really good. So Cleveland State guys talk. You know, who are you thinking? A couple guys are pulling for Suning just because it's fun. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
Like and it's fun if you call it and then they hit it.
Yeah.
So, real quick.
Go ahead.
You said that you weren't able to finish the last game. Do you know the outcome?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like listened to it in my car on the way here.
Oh, okay. You
okay.
So
just get
I
to
finished it.
watch
I just didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So game one comes out. Suning gets red side, which a lot of people were saying. We said it's a blue side meta. A lot of people were saying in pro in the finals that red side, because of the way they use it to kind of pick top, was actually gonna decide the series. So Suning getting red side first was a pretty big deal. It was like, okay, they could actually like upset win game one.
Yeah.
They save counter pick for top lane into a blind Ornn. So if you're going to counter pick top, you usually want to ban Ornn or deal with Ornn somehow. They didn't. And
How would you deal with Ornn? I don't even
picking-
know like what World's meta was like that much.
Ornn
didn't
is just the
follow it
go-to
enough.
blind tank, and they picked Wukong into it. So long story short, they picked
Yeah.
Wukong into Ornn. And I'm thinking like,
yeah, that sounds bad.
I'm like, okay, it's the Wukong pop-off game, and
He said nah.
it doesn't work. So Damon win game one. Game two, I think Damon picked blue, meaning like, oh shit, is it gonna be blue side? Is it gonna keep winning? And then with counter pick, Suning took Fiora now. All right, and this is where this is when I started texting you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, let me check my phone.
Fiora, because Damon picked Ornn again, blind, kind of calling the bluff of Suning. Like, oh, it worked, so it's just gonna work again. But Fiora into Ornn is free as fuck.
Yeah.
So
And do we have this play up, right? Do we have the play of
the
Fiora
penna,
up that
yeah,
you
yeah,
wanna
yeah,
look
bring it
at?
up.
Yeah, you can
Keep
keep
go-
going.
So I texted you guys.
Okay.
So you texted us at 8:19.
And at like 8:19, before this happened, so Bobby says,
Yeah.
is
100% before this happened.
Is he was texting us
LPL Fiora.
pentakill.
He said LPL.
No, at
Fiora.
8:19, I texted LPL Fiora.
Uh-huh.
All
Yeah.
caps. That's
Yeah.
all I said about the game. 5 minutes later, he gets penna.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna take a look at this penna right now.
Okay.
No.
No audio? It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah,
So,
we can watch this play.
but dude, this Rengar, this was a tank Rengar that went Knight's Vow second. Cinderhulk Knight's Vow. So watch the
Really?
Rengar for now, because Fiora's not even in the play. He's rooting this Ornn over and over again. See him root the Ornn
Oh my
twice?
God.
It's nuts,
Oh
dude.
my
And then
God.
he wraps around the bottom.
Yeah, look how fast he gets around right
Yeah.
there.
And now
Holy
he's
shit.
just gonna keep rooting people. Anyway, now Fiora starts to go brazy.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Really cool.
Oh,
Like-
look at the cam down there of everyone getting pumped. I
getting
love
The
it.
caster was saying this was the first penna in World's Finals history,
Really?
but I feel like it was quick shot. I feel like I was like, I think that's a mistake when he's saying it. So
Is that? I mean, I don't know of any.
someone
other
had
pentas.
one on Zaya in 2018, but I don't know if that was like in all of Worlds, and then this was the only one in the finals.
Yeah.
And it's really
Yes, I
the
think
first
that's
one.
I think
now?
it's
saying.
the finals.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
think the two best teams in the world. What are your chances of getting a pentakill?
pretty low,
Low.
really low.
Like that's crazy.
Really low.
Actually,
Yeah.
like it's hitting me right now.
It-
that
But
play
is it
wild.
okay? Here, wait. I have some spice to throw into the mix.
Ooh.
Is it less likely? Because if you're the two best teams in the world, that means you're at the same level, and so like the tiniest how do I explain what I think?
Like the players that get there know how to get pentakills.
Yeah, but because they're all the same level, so like if
You could argue that the levels break down to where they're not even at the same
Okay.
level. Like from looking up
But just in
from
case.
the bottom, they are at the same level.
Okay.
But if you are like
Okay.
I think
in
that's my
their
point.
area, then
That's
you
my
would
point.
see.
They're all up in that area, so like somebody getting a penta, they have to be like elite. Oh fudge! I'm not saying what I want to say.
You're good.
It's fine, people.
Here-
What are you trying?
Ano-
I missed the
another-
beginning, so I didn't really understand what point you're trying to get. across.
You said both teams being the two best teams in the world, what are the chances that someone gets a pentakill? And he's like,
Yeah.
it's pretty low. I was trying to say, like, maybe it isn't any lower because, you know,
We'll get there.
Okay, the margins of error are so small that
Yeah.
like one mistake or one good play could actually just mean the penta.
yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Like they know, like all 10 people know it's going down when one little thing happens.
Right.
Yeah, like once
And,
the
like,
first guy
The dominoes
engages,
fall for so much longer in these games that like
Right.
Like
Like-
you would think it's harder to get away with it. Even when the first guy goes down, the rest of the team either knows they can win the fight or lose the fight, and they're trying to escape.
and there was
So the fact
yeah.
that during this escape they didn't get away from, they know it's coming
Right,
at that point.
right.
They
They
have
do.
to. Is kind of what you're saying. And
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay, yeah. You
That's
guys are
crazy.
articulating it better than I was.
No, it's all good. It's
Do we have audio yet? Okay,
Yes, we
cool.
do.
Let's go to
So-
that.
let's go back to. Let's close up our
Yeah, let's
conversation
still-
for
we can
Worlds.
talk
Let's
about
look
Worlds.
at.
I wanted to look at the video for the opening ceremony.
That's what
Maybe
I'm-
we could just
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody watched it, but
We can kind of scrub through it a little bit.
Yeah,
It is
skip
13 minutes
through.
long. We don't need to watch the
Yeah.
whole thing, but
Okay.
let me bring.
Tell me what you guys think about this. Is this the ceremony we're watching?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like they put their like It's a weird mixture of like the digital stuff and the real life stuff. So I'll shut up for now.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of the set, and the stage is so much digital stuff going on. Well, first off, that was sick.
Hearing the crowd right here was a little spooky. It's a real crowd.
You can hear.
Yeah, how many people are in the stadium?
I don't know. It looked like maybe 60% of it.
I do remember you telling me that. Oh, now we're down at the bottom. Hey, oh, the reaction cam. Let's go.
Oh. I just feel obligated to like.
So they do like a whole music video right here, or what?
Is this like original Riot music?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably KDA music, maybe. I would assume.
I don't follow their stuff, but I'm sure.
Oh, they just said.
Yeah. So here's.
Oh,
This is what you're talking about, the weird mixture of digital and.
I've seen better CGI.
So like my question is, what do the fans see here?
So the fans are seeing a jumbotron that is playing this. For
And then, but then when they look at the actually that
There's
in real life,
nothing.
there's
Yeah.
nothing there
Yeah.
when they actually
Okay.
look at it.
They just could have done so. I mean, they truly like could have just made her shadows on the ground. Like they could have. Couldn't they put that as part of her, and it would have looked more realistic?
Yeah, it could be.
I think just coming from someone who does production, like for a living, as far as I can do, I don't like the idea of AR inside of arenas like this
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it just doesn't do anything for the audience. You're doing this all for TV. Like
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
it seems so much to do for TV. Either you do it one way, you do it one, or you do the other.
Yeah.
But I don't think you do both. I
Yeah.
think for us watching TV, I wouldn't mind a cosplay. Just cosplay it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
they
that.
could
That's a
have
good
got.
It would've been so sick if they
some
came in as a
lip,
real
like
micro.
if you had people up there doing cosplay, and it was just a, even if they're lip syncing.
So let me just say though, these are the champions, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
so you get
Kaisa
people to
shit.
cosplay as champs.
But no, they want the champs to also be
Be part of it.
the
So,
singers.
if
They don't want
that's-
people to like disconnect that. They want the
they want it to
Okay.
be known
Perception.
as the champ.
So then
Yeah,
here's my
yeah.
thing. Here's my thing. Riot is a multi-billion-dollar company. Is that fair to say?
They're one of the I have no idea.
think, and this is from my amateur opinion, but if they want the champions to be a part of the production that badly, then they need to do it well enough so that it doesn't disconnect it from reality. Add shadows, add lighting that actually matches the lighting in the atmosphere. They're already doing all this work to get them in there.
But you can't do that. You can't do that in AR. You can only do that if you're rendering full video.
So it has to be in post-production.
Yeah, it has to be
basically.
post production. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at that was Ari apparently, right? And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, I don't want to see. There's something about I love seeing a beautiful woman dance.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about you putting a CGI rendered woman while there's another one in the background dancing the exact same dance.
Yeah.
I'm watching the one in the background. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not watching.
Right.
Like, oh, it's so irksome.
Yeah, it is. It's
And you know what I love about like League of Legends, like their cinematic trailers and stuff, like those hype me up. Those like
Oh,
get me
yeah.
going.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like use these real people. Maybe don't use cosplay, but like make a sick video of them like dancing to that same song while the song is playing live and the video is playing. You know, I don't know.
but then it's
My question will be: do they have the dragon?
dude, just fucking wait. It's
Okay.
Okay.
it's a meme, bro.
Can we
it's
skip
such
through
a
a little
meme.
bit?
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get all
it's
this
from-
stuff because that's annoying.
I don't like it, but I think they are going way into 2030 with all that shit.
Okay.
They want it to be like our video game characters are also music stars and they're like your world.
I don't doubt that in a few years they're gonna make that look like they're really there.
Well, I bet like just in
Holograms,
K-pop
like, I don't even
culture,
know.
they don't even care. I feel like.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that's
they
the
don't
best
care.
shit.
That's
It
true.
only works if the audience that's live can see it too.
Yeah, I think they'll
That's
advance
the
to
only
that.
way that works.
I think eventually
I think
they
it's
will.
on just they're playing it on like a jumbotron, but I wonder if there are other means for them to see what's going on.
I mean, unless they have AR glasses or I mean, there are ways to do it. That I know. There are arenas in Korea that have the ability, but this is not one of them.
Okay.
You're in, so imagine like club seating at like the Cavs, right? But
Yeah.
instead of being open air in front of you, there's a glass.
and they
So they
play
give
it
the
on
capability of while you're
That-
standing in that room, you're able to see out
Okay.
that
That's
way.
actually awesome.
That's
That'd be,
But there's only like 2 of those that
Yeah.
exist. So.
Yeah, that's actually really that's sweet. Actually, we should maybe pull that up. I kind of want to check it. I was thinking of like the world's stage, which they will probably show at the end of this. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty wild. It's kind of like the Mandalorian, how they shot Mandalorian, where it's like the whole room is a screen,
Play
the
the
floor
video
is a
while you
screen,
talk.
and everything, and then they're playing. Like instead of doing post production or augmented reality, they're just playing it on there, and it looks pretty real based off the camera angles. So
and
that's
actually,
pretty cool.
the screen is.
What is Mandalorian?
It's the
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars show.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a
Oh.
movie jaded little bitch.
Yeah, he doesn't like getting into mainstream pop
Wait.
culture. Hey,
For like
sit
the
your ass
past
in
month,
that chair.
no one's talked to you about Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's because we all just know that he hates
Let's
movies.
not get
We,
into this.
we won't get into
Let's
it.
not
But
get
we've
into
been friends
this.
with this
We'll
guy
have a
a
talk
long
later.
time, so
All right.
Um,
Sorry. Now
all
we're
right.
getting sidetracked.
I didn't
I'll
even know
take
what
us
I was
back to
doing.
this.
we're so bad at like focusing. Is he real? Oh, he's real.
I'm
So
gonna turn my mic on because I got all
you
the
should just
comments.
Yeah.
you should just wait for Elder Drake, alright?
Yeah. So see, like,
such a meme.
oh, is it a meme?
Oh no.
When they
It's a
did the
meme.
Drake the first time around, I thought it wasn't that bad. Like it was like, wow, that's pretty cool that they're doing this. So I'm assuming it must be bad here.
It's if Bobby's
All right,
calling
he
it a
says
meme.
It depends on what
I'm
exactly
ready.
you expect and what you think of it. Like I'll admit in the moment I was like, all right, that's fine. But then I didn't realize how funny it was until I saw the memes about it. I'll tell you the best one on here when we see it. I thought some of the dancing was pretty good. I also thought some of the dancing. All right, from a dancing angle, what did I think? I think the music that they make is really hard to dance to, and it
agree.
just made it really
Yes.
cheese balls.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to do some like like that what was happening just now was like trying to be some like sick hip hop, but I don't feel that that's the vibe.
Not
of
the right
song.
songs,
Yeah.
just not the right music for, or like maybe a better, like have the dancing match the music better.
Almost like a fast contemporary or something like that that would still look sick.
Yeah, like have a group of like acrobats doing like crazy shit or something. Not
Yeah.
like trying to like
No,
hit like
acro
front
would be
dance music,
Yeah,
you know? Like
acro would be really sick. Alright, where is the Drake?
Katie wants the fucking dragon, guys.
They better dunk
Oh, is this
him.
trophy?
They better
All right,
dunk
I'm
him.
trying to see.
oh,
the
the trophy
though.
was dope.
Is it a Louis Vuitton again?
I think so.
Nice.
I'm like the kid that makes you watch a movie and then says like, this part's so funny, and then like tells you about it.
Yeah,
while
and then
watch
we
it.
don't laugh because you already told us about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm gonna not do that.
Did he just spoil it? It's a Louis Vuitton. Spoiled. Okay, never mind. If you don't know,
Yeah.
it's Louis.
It's Louis. Oh, baby.
They gonna open this
What
thing
is
up
happening?
or what?
I know.
Oh, it's drums time. I'm just super hyped they had people in the whole arena and they're doing it again. Like, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, this is an amazing show just because you can hear the crowd.
Oh my god, I didn't even process that.
The crowd, when the singer first started and you hear the crowd, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because it's been. a
Because I don't
minute.
watch football.
Right.
Because, like, you can hear a live crowd if you watch football. I think they
Yeah.
have people, whatever. But for me, it's the first live crowd I've heard since any of this went down.
But so how are they doing that Did everybody have to quarantine?
No, it's just China is like
They're
they
Oh,
do
so-
whatever they want.
risky for the
No,
biscuit.
but so like we couldn't go there and do that.
You want to know the weird
We
thing
could go
that I'm
to
thinking
China.
right now?
What?
How many of these dancers and drummers on this stage understand the words that are being sung right now?
Oh, minimal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know why that just popped in my head.
No,
Like,
that's
this is a super hype, like Americanized song, like to be playing right
Yeah.
now.
they might.
It just feels out of place. I don't know. It kind of feels out of place to me.
It's cool that you think about languages like that. I try to, and I wasn't thinking like that at all. But they're probably like pretty familiar with our phrasing and words and stuff. Because you know what I always think? Like, why is Faker's name Faker like an English word? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is there so many that they use English like language and letters? I think they're just so familiar with our. To them, it's like they like our culture, and they just.
Yeah. Dragon?
Yeah, let's see this dragon.
Trifold.
Zach, are you gonna scrub through
Yeah,
this, or are
yeah,
we
so
just
I
gonna
was
watch the whole
getting
thing?
focused in on like dude, the
Jeez.
players coming out.
He does that. He
Every
really
hype.
does.
He's like his brain's taking like little notes on the production.
Yeah,
I was
he is,
actually.
trust
I
me.
was actually.
I was.
too.
Yes, you guys are so similar.
You see the transition pops that are happening?
Mm-hmm.
The little, you see the flares that are going in? We've seen that before, right? So
Yeah.
we know where they, okay.
Yeah, they got it straight from
Yeah,
our.
we
yeah.
know where they
Like this right here, that ball in the middle.
Yeah, we
they
know where
just
that
got-
comes
And
from.
Vado, all day.
You can
The
only
one
ever
stuff
trade
was
secrets.
video blocks, the fire flares.
Oh. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to look like that.
It's pretty hype.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have a champ come in and hit it with a hammer or some shit?
Yeah, Ornn.
Right?
Ornn doing his dash where he
Like, what
hits
the-
it and then
come
it
on,
opens
man.
up.
Wait, you want some AR shit to happen? That's
Right.
the AR shit you need to happen.
Just wait for Elder Drake.
Fucking got Ari
Oh yeah, the
dancing.
Elder Drake is gonna be the CGI we've been waiting
He
for.
says keep waiting for it. I've been waiting for it.
I know,
this
there's
whole
like
time.
30 seconds
I've
left
literally
on the
been
video.
asking for it.
I think it's before this. I think it already happened.
What? There's no way I skipped it.
Oh, here it is.
Oh.
It's
The
Galio, bro.
dragon could have opened it. It's not.
Oh
not
my
the
gosh,
dragon.
Galio, you're not the Elder Drake.
Yeah. Well, why didn't they have him open it?
So this is kind of what we were what Larry was saying. Now, the hypest moment of this tournament opening is the gigantic Galio coming in and slamming at the end with the two teams. But everybody in the stage doesn't even see that.
Yeah, but
You
they
know,
do
it's
on
like
the
that's the
Jumbotron.
hype climax
point.
of this opener, and
They
we
So,
don't even
that's,
see
so,
it.
so the thing that would have made that hype is that exact fact. If you wanted the crowd to cheer at the same time as him coming down in, then you should have made him coming down in opening the trophy, because all they would have saw is the trophy opening.
And then they
Right.
can react to that.
Right, they're reacting to something totally different than
Yeah.
what we're seeing on screen. Like it's
Dude,
Riot.
people just
What
aren't-
up?
They're not big brain like you, Larry.
And so hold on, leave
So
it
wait,
here
did we
for a
miss
second.
the dragon?
Leave it here for a second.
No, this is the dragon.
That's what he was.
That- oh, no,
that's why
that's
he
what it
started
is.
giggling like a little boy. He was like, tee hee hee, I said Elder Drake to throw you, off.
You guys are
No,
waiting
because
for a
like
dragon.
it was Elder Drake, right? How many years ago? When it like flew
Last-
in the
Yeah.
stadium.
That was last
and-
year, right?
So do they do a Elder Drake every year?
I don't know. I
I
think
don't know. I
yesterday,
thought
last year was
was
their
the
first one.
year.
Okay, either way, now it's just Galio.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Which by the way, like, look how simple it is. So anyway, the best meme I saw was, "Mom, can we have Elder Drake?" It's like we have Elder Drake at home. It's like the Elder Drake.
Elder
at
Drake
home.
at home.
Oh,
Good.
I want to like play it back once more because I want to hear the. Yeah, like crowd's already cheering and everything.
And you guys thought it was Drake so hard, I just went along with it. You know,
Yeah.
give up.
I was like, dragon, please.
Yeah, because now they're not even seeing it on the screen because they're zoomed out all the way. So like the jumbotron isn't repeating what we're seeing.
The one justification for this could be if they didn't have a live crowd. You know, it's COVID. Everybody's at home. They made the production for us. But like, there's a live
It's
crowd
still
there.
cool.
That
I
they
mean,
shouldn't
I guess
think
like
about it.
we're saying all this about the disconnect between live crowd and the viewer, but it's like even if they have 10,000 people in that stadium, there's like how many people watch Worlds? Like, how many views is this
True.
broadcast
Way
gonna
more
get?
than that's in that
Millions?
stadium.
You see how much they were blocking
That's a
out?
good
like
point.
30 million. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Did you see how much they were blocking out Dan Juan's
All right, fine, I
logo
guess it was good.
as he was standing there?
No, I
like,
didn't even notice.
Like the entire time, all the close-ups just block out the logo, like until it leaves. Like you go back a little bit more.
Which part? Like here, where it's
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
the
Just
players?
every time they keep showing the drag,
Oh, here. Yeah, they're just covering it.
It blocks the logo the entire every cut they do.
Yeah, dang, that's a bummer. Like as a
Right?
team and as like a owner of that,
That's
the
dumb.
organization is like, what the
Like here
hell?
comes
So you
again. They
pick-
go back to him,
You pick a champion that has wings that cover the brand.
and then boom! Look at that scene. I
Yeah,
was so mad at
damn.
that scene.
Hey, bias. Why is Galio biased, by the way?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
is it only showing?
Biased Elder Drake.
That is
Someone
crazy.
needs to give Galio a lesson in PR.
Now we can see it. Okay. Nah, man, I don't know.
Right.
I'm mad at production.
It's
team
easy
right
to
now.
like react to stuff and be so picky, but like, it was cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
that doesn't
It's
look
cool.
good. You got warm me on that one.
What?
You saw
No,
it?
I bait and switched y'all with that one. You're
went-
expecting.
No, you went back and you guys stood at the bottom, so you were like.
Oh, yeah, my
but
bad,
it's
my
cool.
bad.
I got you.
Are we
So, did you have more to talk about with World?
Yeah, all right, my quick summary. And so the Fiora game was great. Game 3, they played Jax, Nidalee, both with the rune that is so random I can't even think of it. It's Omnistone. Jax
Oh.
and Nidalee. And it didn't work, but it was hype. Then now Damwon is 2-1. And, you know, spoilers at this point. Spoilers should have come right after the Fiora part, probably. Then they just win the next two, so Damwon 3-1. And so, like, most...
And that was expected.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
analysts
They were.
were predicting 3-0 because the nature of League is that, like, 3-0s are pretty common.
Mhm.
The fact that they got one was cool. And I didn't really get to see Game 5 because I was driving here.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about NA's impact in Worlds.
Okay.
Because I think it can open us into talking
this will be
about
quick.
the
Bjergsen
role
and-
swap that we
yeah.
can.
Oh, yeah. That Bjergsen thing is super hype. So for NA, it's like being a Browns fan, kind of, because
Yeah.
growing up in Ohio, Cleveland, whatever, every year Browns fans like, we're going to be good and this is why. We're going to be good and this is why. We're going to be good and this is why.
And
We're
that's
going to be good. We're
exactly
going to be good. We're
what's
going
going on in
And for 15 years of being a kid and only like 20% caring about football, by like year 13, I was just like, you guys are hilarious with
Yeah,
this shit
dude.
every year. Like,
Our dads.
Our
Yeah,
dads.
Specifically.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every year, half of my buddies. So for NA, it's like there was nothing special about this year. There was nothing to even talk about. It was just another
Just everyone getting smashed.
year where it's like, damn.
Did
whatever.
NA make it out of groups at all?
No, we Cloud9 made it to the semis last year, I think,
Yeah.
and that was like Kobe cried, and like I was probably tearing up,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that was that's it.
Yeah, and that's it.
So, one of my favorite pro players, Bjergsen, he's
Rip.
not playing anymore.
But he's coaching.
Yeah.
So-
Before we even talk about it, let's just play the video.
Yeah.
It's very short and sad. No, it's actually really good. He did a good job.
All right.
My first thought was, "Ooh, Zach, you made that."
I
And I was
know.
like, "Wait."
It's
Hey guys, it's
same
Bjergsen here, as you
quality.
may know, and I'm here to talk to you guys because I have an announcement to make. I'm really grateful for what playing professionally and what League of Legends and TSM has really given me. When I first started playing professionally, I was a depressed kid in Denmark, and I was really just, League of Legends was just an escape from the hard times I was having at school especially, and in my first couple of years I was really just playing to stay out of school because I knew that if I didn't make it I would have to go back because you have to finish high school, especially in Denmark. And yeah, the person I am today is through this job and through this career, and I think it's been a great way for me to grow and learn a lot of things, have a lot of hardships, have a lot of success. And after playing professional League of Legends for about 8 years and playing for TSM for, I think, close to 6, I'm here to talk about the fact that I'm retiring as a professional player and stepping into the head coach role for TSM.
That's
It probably
so
comes
huge.
as a shock to a lot of you guys, and I especially don't want it to seem like this is a sudden reaction to our poor Worlds run. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and especially in this last year. I almost even committed to the change in between spring and summer, but I really wanted to have a good season before becoming a coach. And there's just a lot of aspects of when you're a leader and when you're a veteran on the team, you end up doing a lot of coaching while you're playing. And I always really enjoyed that aspect, and I enjoyed helping the team be on the same page, helping the team be at their best, play well together, help individuals improve and flourish. But it was always a bit of a side project because ultimately, as a pro player, you have to focus on yourself first and foremost and your own performance. So I always had to kind of leave it up to whoever was working with the team to do those things. But I think just as I've gotten older and as I've been playing longer, now it just feels like a good time to really step into that role full time and see what I can do when those projects are truly my responsibility. I even feel like kind of saying the word retirement doesn't really feel like it fits because I don't really feel like I'm retiring. I'm still going to be a competitor in League of Legends, and with TSM I'm just changing the role. I'm not going to be actively playing on stage during the matches, but I still feel like I'll be competing and I'll be working every day towards the same goal, which is winning North America, doing well at Worlds, ultimately winning Worlds, and yeah, it's just about doing it from a new standpoint, a new perspective, and I'm really excited to have just a lot of new goals to work with. Even though we obviously had an extremely disappointing Worlds run, I was still really happy and proud that we brought a trophy to you guys again after kind of a drought of not having any for a while, and my hope is just that I can continue to do that, but from a different position within the team, and hopefully in the long run have more of an impact from the coaching side than I did it even as a player.
Bjergsen,
So you think this is a step in the right direction?
I don't know, like, we don't know enough about what was going on in their comms and what's going on in his life to say this is the right or wrong step. And he might not even know if this is the right or wrong step, but as like an observer that also takes interest in the organizations and not even just the games and players, like, this is pretty cool to see. I'll miss him as a player, but to have him as a coach, like, imagine he'll be drafting against Jat next season.
Yeah.
Think
Which
about
is like
that.
2 powerhouse names in League of Legends.
5 years ago, Jat was like a little baby caster, and Bjergsen was like a little baby pro rookie. And now they're going to be drafting against each other. So we are seeing the Titans kind of like develop, and to me, I think it's pretty cool. But
Yeah, so when I was asking that, I wasn't necessarily saying for the team, but just for League of Legends in general, to have a player who's been a pro player for a long time to become a head coach just from no steps in there, just
Dude,
from
personally,
player, head coach.
I think it was inevitable that this would happen because all traditional sports, a lot of head coaches, a lot of assistant coaches played pro or, you know, like were involved in the pro play at some point. And I just feel like that's like the natural evolution of like the sporting aspect of esports. I don't know. Do you guys agree?
yeah, I think so too. Because what is it about traditional sports? You can have coaches that never played because the game's old enough to where you can just read it off a book. But because this game is so young, if you haven't played pro, it would be really hard to coach at the pro level. So that's why, like, a caster like Jat makes a great head coach. Like, you could say he's great or not, but
well, you
Team
got to
Liquid
think
finished,
think of how many hours and hours and hours he spent analyzing gameplay.
Yeah.
and there's
at
a
the
lot
pro
of
level.
multi-dimensional people in esports. The example I would bring up to like Zach and guys in the Discord is Papa Smithy went from casting Korean League of Legends to being the GM of 100 Thieves. So think about that, because he is an amazing League of Legends mind, and maybe they offered him more money because he was actually having to live in Korea, so now he gets to live in America. 100 Thieves is probably taking care of him.
Yeah.
But now he has to do GM work, which isn't as sexy, I'm sure, as some of the casting he did.
Yeah.
But, like, these guys don't care. They want to They're like in the war
They just
for
want
America. Like
they
Yeah.
just want the American League of Legends scene to be the best that it can,
Yeah.
whether
Yes.
they're behind
Yeah.
the camera or in front of the camera.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of guys that are like the Titans.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's why I think esports and like League of Legends specifically, the production and everything from the beginning to now has evolved so much and so quickly, because I feel like there's not a lot of ego. There might be. We don't know what goes on at that level, but I feel like they really are just doing whatever it takes to be the best. It doesn't matter who's doing what, as long as we're advancing
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I mean,
plowing forward.
Yeah, and it's hard as like because we don't know these people personally, but from the PR standpoint of what they display online and in their own personal streams and what they do for the community, it is that that people don't have inflated egos and they all are just out for the best for
Yeah.
the community and the spectatorship and the competition and everything.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
like that.
So another thing about pro League of Legends specific, well, esports, but also League of Legends is there's so much more money involved now than there ever was. So I saw on Twitter recently somebody said maybe Jensen was going to have like a $4 million contract. I don't know if that's an official number. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I don't know if that's an official number, but I have been seeing talk about $1 million contracts. For
And Alfari
players.
too.
Who?
Alfari is a European top laner. He was like one of the best top laners in Europe that did not even make it to playoffs. So he's on a bad European team
Yeah.
and got picked up by Team Liquid to replace Impact, who's been just a really solid OG top laner in NA for a long time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah, we're kind of just like
What were you saying though? I feel like I jumped into what you were saying.
No, we were
about
saying
the money, like
contracts.
yeah.
Dude, and the contracts are getting longer.
Okay.
So
It-
Reckless.
I just
for-
wanted to say real quick before you get into it is like we're just getting closer and closer to traditional sports,
Yeah.
like business side. The contracts, like you said, are looking longer. It's looking like more money. There's more viewership. There's more production. Like we're talking about the pipeline. Like we're
Yeah.
getting every year,
Yeah.
step by step, getting closer and closer to traditional sports.
And
Yeah, but better, I hope.
a lot of the esports people do use traditional sports as a model, which obviously it makes a lot of sense in some ways, and then it makes zero sense in some. And but the business side is one way that it could make a lot of sense. But the contracts getting longer is really crazy. I think Reckless broke the mold for Fnatic, and Faker was doing deals with SKT where he was getting. What is the proper term for getting ownership in a contract?
Like I don't know
He's a
what
part
the
owner. He owns
like he's getting
percentage of the
stocks
company.
for his.
It's not
contract.
stocks. It's not part owner. And it's not ownership. There's a word that is like. Anyway,
Like a
Okay.
co-ownership.
Chat, if you know the word,
Faker.
send it through.
Faker was
Say it
already.
again? The way it is again?
Huh?
Say it again?
When you like, as a player, can get ownership of a team if you sign a deal, but it's not called like.
Oh, they just get stock options.
It's not called stock option. There's a
Really?
better term. There's a better term.
I don't know, but
It's
they're
fine.
basically just
Either
getting
way.
like clauses written into their contract that give them
Yeah.
portions of
So
ownership.
Bjergsen was getting ownership. Faker was getting ownership. Reckless for EU was getting. He got like a 3-year deal 2 years ago, and now Jensen is. How many years was his?
Don't know.
3-4 years. It's just the fact that you can get 3 or 4 year long contracts in esports is pretty crazy. And
It
and
is.
now it's up to $1 million a year. Like if Alfari's is $1 million a year for X amount of years. Like this is crazy. This is great stuff.
Yeah, that is
They-
nuts. So now you're talking about these, like think back when you played competitive Call of Duty, and tournaments were like $1,000 was a good prize pool.
I
and
won $75 in a check for first. So it must have been, what was it, 4 of us, so a $150 tournament was first prize. And
Yeah.
I have a picture of me holding a check.
I know that. I know. I can picture the it
Zoomers
right now.
are
Like
probably,
you,
"What
your
is a
brother.
check?"
Yeah.
What's a
Those
check,
guys.
Mom? Sorry.
To think that now, kids that are that age could be going through the C9 pipeline into, you know,
Yeah. Yep.
the pro game where they're
Yep.
potentially making $500,000 contracts at the age of 17,
Yeah, that's so crazy.
which is crazy.
And they are also getting rid of our players union that was probably just there to be there, and they're gonna like knock that down. And so, like the Players Association. So Hal Biagas, who I've met and talked to at a Cleveland State had a like esports and law symposium that Angelin Chang invited me to, and I went to, and I met Hal Biagas, and he was like one of the people talking, one of the speakers in it. Anyway, they're getting rid of him because they're doing a poor job. The players union or association that they bring in now is probably gonna bring all the other contracts up, and then the academy contracts are gonna start getting bigger. Like this could all, and then the collegiate shit, it could all just like be popping off right now.
It makes so much sense because you just got to remember, like, it's the same. There are people who be like, oh, $1 million just for playing video games. It's like you say this. Same is said about basketball, football, baseball, soccer, everything. It's all about the production and viewership. The viewership, they're getting. I haven't looked at numbers in the last few years, but I remember one year when I was really, really looking into like viewership numbers and stuff for like Worlds. It was Heat versus Spurs in the NBA Finals, and they had 7 million viewers on ESPN. ESPN2 played Worlds, and its viewership numbers were like 14 million, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago. To think of where it's at now, like they're making so much money off of the production, the sponsorships, the everything that they do. Like traditional sports, those contracts should be up there. These players, without these players, you have none of that.
For sure, and I think the viewership, for anyone who's like hears that, it might be like, oh, there's no way that's true. It's just the Eastern nations like China have so many people that they are like the giant consumers. I think the microtransactions in China is probably where Riot makes like a big chunk of their money.
Oh,
you'd have to imagine.
Yeah. Think if what their monthly income looks like just from microtransactions in League. From a free game.
Yeah, China
in just China. It's probably insane.
It's a global game now. It's probably so the most globally spectated sport has got to be soccer. Okay, right? Probably.
Yeah.
And then if you were to go look at a list a couple years ago where they're not factoring anything esports related, the number 2 would be like cricket randomly. Okay, and then number 3, like I think League of Legends is second. Is it not? Think of a more globally spectated sport. Not to football. To real football.
Yes.
To soccer.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
Probably.
we could look that up.
Yeah.
Wait, what country are you talking about?
What country?
Global.
What country?
Global.
Global.
Maybe
Global
baseball.
viewership.
Baseball might be higher because baseball is also.
No way. Baseball's American.
Baseball is worldwide.
Baseball is an American sport.
I know, but it's still
it's worldwide.
Viewership
But baseball's not even.
I wonder.
Close.
Let's look it up right now.
It's
I'm
like
curious.
soccer,
I think
cricket,
soccer,
tennis, or
everyone
something.
plays soccer.
That's what it has to do
Tennis
with the
probably
most.
is up there.
Cricket was randomly number
Why
2.
is tennis up there?
The tennis might not even be. I can't think
How
of
high
anything
would
else.
golf be?
Low because it's expensive, so poor countries can't play it.
Oh.
So not everyone in the
Yeah.
world is gonna watch it.
It's a really good point.
I think I get what we're doing, like comparing like these esports to
League of Legends
traditional
specifically
sports.
because of the Western viewership is so high. Like
So that's what I'm
China.
saying. I think like it just deserves to mention though, like when you try to still bump League of Legends up to those other traditional sports and their viewership, like right, if not beyond them, but right on their heels are games like CS:GO and
True.
there's just Dota 2. So I don't know if like League of Legends itself is holding that platform. That's what I'm saying. Like holding that spot.
It is.
Like to say
Right
it's
now
League
it
of
is.
Legends. Like
It is, but
League is the soccer of esports. Period.
Yeah.
It's the most watched. And
And I think
So
Dota's
the
up
viewer.
there too.
So for Worlds 2019, the viewership numbers hit 100 million. That's pretty high.
What's behind it, or
That's just Worlds from 2019. Like
That's
if
what
I
I'm
look
saying.
up,
there's got to be reported because I would think Smash Brothers could be
Not
beyond
even
that.
close.
it depends on
Worldwide
the
viewership?
accessibility of like the people in the eastern part of the globe, China, India, like.
Where all those people are.
And that's why I just wonder if Dota 2 isn't beyond that.
That's
Katie
up
was
there.
saying-
Dota
Yeah.
and League are up
so
there.
the World Championships for Smash was at 279,000.
Look
Okay.
up Dota.
Oh, that's a fraction.
What
yeah.
they're because they
Dota, you said?
yeah Dota's like one of the ones that
Yeah, Dota 2 is.
And then
like
I
an
guess like
esports-
CS:GO was the other one now.
Dota 2 is 1.1 million. So one.
Just over 100,000 over.
No,
Right?
No,
the other
League
one
was
100
million.
100 million.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's 1.1
Million. Yeah.
That's
Smash
the
was
second
27.
highest. Now,
279,000.
don't forget, you guys, a lot of people who play video games, watch other video games, maybe not necessarily a whole ton of overlap, but there's overlap. So those aren't just like there's 100 million unique people watching League of Legends and then there's another million only watching Dota. There definitely is some League of Legends. I mean,
You seen
overlap.
that number?
So I'm looking at
So here's what Kate. We're looking at the World Cup viewership for 2018. 3.5 billion.
for
So
what World
soccer,
Cup?
Soccer.
soccer still busts.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Soccer's
but like
the
that's why I
guy.
want to look at like baseball.
Bust. There's our. Why?
Dude, yeah, why?
Larry pointed out to us earlier that we all say bust a lot, like bustin'.
Bust.
So baseball.
BUSS.
What's
I'm
the World
sorry.
Championships for baseball?
There's no T in bus.
You say what's the world championship for baseball? Like,
The
like
Do we
the
not
best
have-
Series?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess
World
it's just World
Series.
Series. I don't think baseball
World
goes in
Series.
that kind of
World
this
Well,
Well, we have
conversation.
like
World Series
yeah.
for the
There's-
MLB.
is
And then you've got the World Classic, but that like it does not go in these.
it was
this
like
conversation.
3.7 million. So
Oh,
still a fraction of what League of Legends
The World
is.
Series was,
Yeah.
or the World Classic.
The World Series.
I looked up a list on ESPN. It had baseball somewhere in here. It was soccer fan base 4 billion. This is ESPN's estimate of fan bases. Cricket fan base 2.5 billion. No
So
idea what cricket
that's
is.
such a weird one.
Cricket.
That's above
Have you seen the cricket video games?
cricket video
There-
games. Never.
There's a cricket game on Game Pass, I think it is. It's actually like better than MLB The Show, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, if its viewership is so much higher, then it's probably good, right?
There's a Netflix special, How X Works, How Whatever Works, and cricket's one of them. It's like insanely complicated.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's,
I
like,
think I
cool.
watched that. Because that's the one they did the
Is
how
cricket
the
the one
esports
where they
or
like
League of
pitch the
Legends.
ball
Yeah.
down and then you hit it and then
It
you
bounces and
it,
it's like a flat
bounces.
bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
I was not
sorority
even
paddle.
following.
Oh, that's what you remember?
Number 4
Just a paddle.
tennis. Number 4 tennis at 1 billion. Number 5 volleyball somehow 900 million.
Because
Number
it's
6
It's
table
global,
tennis.
because they play volleyball. It's like
Because
soccer.
all you need is a ball and a net.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Makes
What about
perfect
ping
sense.
pong?
Anyway,
Ping pong?
Table tennis.
anyway, league will be fitting in there somewhere high.
Yeah.
I agree. It's getting there, and I wonder how recent was that.
2020.
And I wonder if
maybe?
they're even including esports in that at all.
No.
100 million
Not
on
yet.
Worlds 2019. So think of what it is to,
Bro, there
now.
are still
There's just probably not numbers
there
out.
are still news stations where the topic of esports comes up and the casters, what are they called on news? The anchors are like,
Boomers.
what? All they do is press buttons. You mean to tell me they're making a living? It's like, it's 2020. Hello? You haven't heard of esports? I'm sick of your shit.
Damn, Annie.
I'm so-
Yeah, you boomers better watch out for Katie. She's trying to throw some fisticuffs.
Annie's summoning Timbers over here. Tibbers
Mm-hmm.
over here.
yeah, can you please show your Tibber?
My what?
I wish.
Wait,
can
no,
you do
we're
a fire
supposed
animation?
to. We need to do the thing I tried to do that didn't work.
All right, we'll do it.
We got some things to talk about.
Can we please? Can
So now that we've got audio and stuff, are you guys feel comfortable moving on from Worlds?
yeah, we can talk about LSS.
Yeah, we
Only
can
if
go
you
back
show
to
your
our-
Tibber's head to
Oh,
the
my
camera,
Tibber's head.
please. I made this costume for him.
You made that actually?
Yeah.
You
Like,
made that out of
he's-
what? How did you get like the face?
No, I bought the onesie and then I sewed all the Tibber stuff onto it.
I'm like calling you out so
I
hard.
know.
You're like trying to help him with it. I'm like, what do you mean? When? Where?
The next podcast we do, I'll just talk about how I made that costume. Okay, LSS.
It'll be a cosplay.
You mean lie about how you made it?
Yeah.
in the last 5 minutes?
I was misleading. I did not think anyone was going to call me on it. Leave it to Diddy.
Just like over and
Leave it
over
to
calling
Diddy
you
to
out.
call me on my shit.
Dude, I believed you though.
I
Like, go
know.
back and watch. I genuinely was like, how
All right,
did you
can
make
somebody
that?
play the tapes, please? I want to see if he was
Run the
genuine.
tapes.
Roll it.
Okay. We're gonna go back now to our top 3 plays from the LSS. Now that we've got
Yes.
audio, now that we've covered Worlds.
Yes.
So this is gonna be our number 3 spot. No bias here. We just like to see Game 3, guys.
Hey, my predictions were unbiased. by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, for sure they were.
And I'll stick.
I may have went back. Okay, here we
Okay,
go.
so we may be going to see a pinch here. Do they know they're there? It looks like they're suspecting something's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
it's
this
elemental
is-
again, but Hook misses. W misses. He's actually,
no.
he's like.
Oh,
TP
here
comes
comes
in.
the TP. So they're like, yeah, they're pushing
Field
too
to
hard
the
into
top
this
man, but
fight.
Big D will actually go in, and who do they burst? It's Ash. Ezreal down. Lucen will go in. I think they win this because Camille has locked down the K-Man, and that true damage comes through. 3-0 Miami. They've just broken the game completely open. Applause will go down next. Where do they head other than Elder after this?
Oh, I like
That
play by
game,
play.
do they
So-
look
I like
Ender,
play
do they
by
look
play.
Elder?
Yeah.
So we're
I'm
looking
mad
at
that you didn't keep
4
doing play-by-play
50-second
for the
respawn
record.
time.
I
Like,
still
we
can.
may be getting the
I
end
know. I
here.
feel like
Color
you-
just
They get
is
base pretty quickly.
better for me right now.
Yeah, do they have a win?
So, like you were saying, basically in this play, they're
I don't wanna say
going
game
for a
yet,
fight when
but
they
I
think
think
it's
it's
safe
good.
because
I think
Camille
they
and
can-
Hecarim aren't there, but they're not thinking about the
Is
fact
the
that
difference?
both of
Yeah,
those
you'll see.
They have,
champions
20
could get
seconds
there
on
so
Ash, but what
quickly.
is Ash
Yeah,
gonna do?
and like
You know,
their
five
comp
here.
needs to
nothing
be
is
in a
over.
lane.
Hey,
So like when you
Miami.
5v5,
With
you want to
the
be in the
huge
lane or the river. It's nice and wide. You can have like a line of defense in front of you, and there's no walls. You can have vision covering your flanks. All you need is like, if you're in the river, all you need is like 2, maybe 3 wards, and your
Yeah.
flanks are like pretty covered. But when they cheese the jungle like that, they all 5-stack on a brush. They're compromising their position to fight with because they're a 5v5 team.
Yeah.
And once that hook misses, now they're in Miami's realm because they're in the jungle. Period. So then they just TP comes in, they bite and
They're
rip.
too deep to get out. They're just funneled in there,
Yeah.
and those two are getting on them. So
You need to
quickly.
like be in the lane where you can keep them at arm's reach to where if they're trying to gap close on you, everyone sees it and you can react and you can punish it. And if they are hard committing flashes and stuff, everybody sees the flash. Now you know to kill the person who just flashed. Like
Yeah, I think that they're like in hindsight, their issue was like Ziggs gets away from the cheese, and then instead of calling it there, they're like run at them and get them in the jungle, like because they're all in there
Yeah.
and they just miss some abilities.
Yeah.
now they're
And that's-
splitting around walls and
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Such a big part of League of Legends is knowing when to fold them.
Yes,
You gotta
that's
know
When to
when
fold 'em, yeah,
fucking
that's-
give it up. Yeah.
I need to use that.
Come back.
Okay, so this
So next
is our
clip.
Number
Number
2
two.
moment.
yep.
It's Chunk really hard.
This
He
is
might get
Bar
wins up here.
versus
He's forced
CSU
to
in
ult,
week 1.
but it's okay. Time is on the side of BAR, but we'll see if Jin makes a play here. Oh, he will ult the thresh over the wall onto the back line, and this is just going to get cleaned up by the bruisers in the center of BAR, and that was just a dunk over a wall.
Yeah, holy.
He tackled him over the fence.
So now that
Right
it's
there. And
hindsight,
this closes the game out.
what's so
With that
funny
heroic
about this
step
play
play.
is
And what an absolutely dominant top lane.
this was like Cleveland
performance
State
here.
against
Yeah,
Jin,
11-3
and Cleveland State knows
And they
Jin
know
very
him,
well,
yeah.
and Jin just dunks into the Cleveland State
Pretty
team.
epic.
Oh my god, wow.
Pretty
Yeah.
Yes, you have this mouth.
Yeah, what do you think, Zach? Zach, what do you think
A BAR.
about the dunk?
That was just a dunk
my
over
God,
a
what a
wall.
dunk, yeah.
What a dunk.
Are your eyes working over there?
Like,
Oh,
are your eyes
he
made out of
went all
buttons?
the dash over the wall onto the back line, and this is just going to get cleaned up by the bruisers in the
It was just a
center
cool like
of
dunk over the
BAR,
wall
and
into a
that was
3-man
just a
facebreaker.
dunk
That
over a wall.
yeah, that's a nice play.
He
Wow.
tackled
It
him
was
over
week
the
1, by the
fence.
way, so
Right.
this was all
Yeah.
like, you know, this I'll never forget this play.
Yeah.
It's like
With that
it
heroic
ended the
step
game.
play. And what
There's
an
a lot of like you know
absolutely
behind the
dominant top
scenes
lane
like
performance here.
stuff that made it
What I
cool
say,
and
11-3 and 12, 300.
yeah, had to include it. So what do you think, Zach?
Oh, that was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a so-so play. I'm gonna be honest. When I was watching, you know, when we were live, it felt way more hype than that.
I actually kind of agree. Like I was not. I thought it was going to be more hype. I mean, I just have seen Jin do so many like crazy things. I've seen like.
It was still a crazy setup,
No, yeah.
but it looked so obvious and free when you're watching it back. When I watched
Like
it back
he really
twice
just
in
took
a
advantage.
row,
He was like, I know this.
Yeah, I mean, it was clever. He like waited it out for the lineup and
Yeah.
then casted.
Yeah.
But they didn't make it difficult for him.
True. That's a
I
really
just
good
the
point.
fact that it was week 1 and you know like something sticks out about that moment. But we can moment number 1 is definitely fire.
Sorry, Tibbers, your arms are a little short.
Yeah.
So we're doing Miami versus York next.
Holy Boxers doesn't have enough mana to cast alt, so.
I'm I'm right now.
Man, ulti, followed up by the Yasuo. Can they clean it up?
Oh shoot!
We with the double of all people.
Everyone, hold on. I have to make him come back.
Busted, guys.
Straight
up busted.
It already happened. The play already happened.
Which
Go
one?
back,
This one?
go back.
Okay, yeah.
That we've seen so many times.
Hold on, this one's still playing. Chat's like, there's 3 videos playing at once. All right, let's go back here. I think this is a good spot.
I'm in admiration of their.
This has to be 100%
dedication
number 1
to
play.
the game, their adaptability, their willingness to practice different styles.
Oh, yonk.
What a hook!
Oh my god.
Who's the playback?
I'm not going to be able to do much. This
Big
might
taunt.
just be the kills here. Ultimate from Samira is actually doing so much damage, even though she's not being able to move her champion around. Triple kill coming in for Samira, and this might be the quadra kill. Quadra kill on Samira, looking for the penta, going after Laser King. Is this the penta kill?
And it was close.
Yeah.
Here we
it
have
really
in
was.
Game 3 of Miami versus
Was
York
that our
University.
only penta we
IGN on
saw
Samira's gonna
for
find
the
a
whole
penta
league? I
kill.
think
I
it
think
was.
it was.
I think we had one quadra
penta
kill on
kill to
Jinx
get
earlier
Miami
in the
in the
season
And that was-
with
That's
Laser
gonna be the
King.
game
Oh,
to
okay.
advance them into the
I
finals.
really
The
thought
Nexus
Star
turrets
Pwner
will
had
drop.
like a quadra or a penta. Maybe not a penta. I think we would remember that. But that kid.
Maybe like a Tristana triple or a Tristana quadra, maybe, or
yeah,
something.
And
Yeah.
it felt really
Yeah.
good when it was happening. So
Maybe it was Star Pwner on the Jinx. It
And
was.
He did
It
play
was.
Jinx
It was.
pretty
That was the
recently.
delivery man, the quadra you're thinking of.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
That was the closest thing we've had to a penta other than
Than that,
Yeah.
yeah.
that one.
And that penta was game 3 for Bien there in Miami to put them in the finals. So,
Yeah. Big
like,
play.
not only the best sports plays in the world are the best performances with the most on the line.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yes.
it can just come together to be so dang raw.
Oh, so good.
It's good stuff.
So, I'm actually really excited for season 2 of LSS.
Same.
Because we're kind of. I mean, there's so much that we've improved upon already. Like, I literally can't even believe, like, even just the production from where we started to where we ended.
There's some info for you.
So, some info for season 2 of LSS. I mean, I know
Oh.
everyone was watching my outro last week. I know you guys all saw it, but we're going to talk about it again. So, we are going to have qualifiers.
Hype.
Yeah, so
Hype.
hype.
Me and Bobby will be your hype man right now.
Thank you.
Hype.
We're going to go through a round robin phase where those teams compete and the top 4 get
Let's
through.
go. Let's go.
We're going to have last chance qualifiers. That's 2 weeks of that.
One more chance, baby.
One
Give
more
it
chance.
all you got.
The top 2, I think, Larry, help me out. Yeah, top
She
2
thinks.
from there, from each day, get
Confirmed.
in. So, and then we're also inviting back our top 4 teams from season 1. And if any team, for whatever reason, does not want to come back, we'll just go down the line and, for LSS season 1. And then we'll have 12 teams. And that's...
I did
Hype.
make one slight change to this.
Okay.
I'll get you guys. I'm going to get you on screen for your reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for
okay.
it. Let's go.
Tiny change. All those qualifiers that you saw show up, they're on Saturdays. We did already talk that they would be starting morning league. Everybody's excited about that.
Hey,
10
what
a.m.
time?
start times. However, the qualifiers are played out in the bracket, so therefore we'll be starting all round ones, round ones on Friday night. We're
Okay.
gonna play through. We're gonna have those offline that is gonna get played
Okay.
through. So then, when we go into Saturday morning, we'll have a losers and winners side all the way through the day.
Oh, yeah,
So this
okay.
is the
Is
ability
that-
to get those round ones out the way.
Through the
That is not through the series. That is through the qualifiers. That is
Oh,
how
okay,
qualifiers
fire.
are being approached to be able. So because we're trying not to limit the teams as much as possible,
Yeah.
so we do want entrants and teams to come in,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time we need the rounds to be played for production the next afternoon.
Yeah, awesome.
Sick.
So we're going to do early morning, and are we going to keep early mornings throughout the season?
Yeah.
All right.
figure we might go early mornings,
I kind of dig that.
I dig that.
I dig
dig
it.
that.
Yeah,
I
we
like
get our
early
coffee
morning
in the
games.
morning, which is kind of
Morning league.
We have some
nice.
other things going on in the lounge too
True.
that happen later on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
So it would be a nice break for our TO and our production staff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, we can start earlier
shout out to
today.
Frank, our TO Supreme.
Knowing we're always going to be
Working
working,
hard. Shout out,
I guess, 14-hour days for the next 4 months on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
this
That's,
is a break in
we
between.
knew
But-
what we were getting into, and we had high hopes. And the three of us know that if we're working on this, it's not a work day. It's
I not much you can complain about if what
Yeah.
you're doing on your Saturday is competitive gaming and
Yeah.
embellishing it for all the viewers and having a good time. Then, man, does it really work at that point?
It's so hyped that we're gonna have qualifiers, dude.
Yeah,
Come
guys,
on.
get
and
hyped
think
for these
that's
on.
gonna
qualifiers.
up. Okay, qualifiers
so
just
sick.
guarantees we up the caliber of teams, and like I'm not just talking about rank. I'm talking about competitive play. Like, can you show up in a best of one? Which that's debatable. Best of one is really hard to just tell your skills.
Yeah, you have to
because
play every game at
You have to be
the best
on
level you
point.
can.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to make sure that your comms are good. Your whoever's what?
Another idea.
Okay.
What is it?
If you guys want to do it, if you think it's a good idea. So I
Okay.
wanted to have team snipes. So basically, we already allowed in qualifiers that even if you win a qualifier week, you can play in another one. You can still continue to play just for competition's sake.
Yeah.
If you happen to win that following week, if you already qualified, then we take the next place down.
Okay.
But what if so you can give a bonus to a team to keep winning. So if they do win, they get like a $50 bonus.
Ooh.
However, if a team snipes them out of that bracket, you know, they're already a qualifier, but they get sniped out of the bracket by any team that they see in the bracket, that team then wins the $50.
And there's $150 that gets.
There's a 50, obviously there's $50 on the line each week to a qualifying
So
team.
like the returning teams could win $15, but if
I think he's saying 50.
50, but if the second place team actually beats them out, then they get the 50.
Not second place, that's anybody. So let's say, okay, so we have our 4 teams that are
Yeah.
coming back. They can play in qualifiers. Any team that actually takes one of them out, that whatever team takes them out, they win $50.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if they never get taken out, they win $50.
Then they win $50.
I love that idea.
I
It
love
adds an extra
that.
level.
It's like a mini game.
Yeah.
They got bags on their head.
It's fun.
They got a bag on their head.
It's
Yeah.
fun incentive to come back week to week, even if you've already made it in. Because like
Yeah,
once you
that's so
secure
right
your
this
spot,
way.
you can
We were
come
right
back.
this
And
Yeah, that's just.
that would be really fun.
It is the way.
Yeah.
I have
This
spoken.
is the way.
That's so hype. So I think the fighting game community seems to have everything flushed out in terms of like bracketology and pools and seeds and everything.
Yeah,
Like
there's a
guys-
lot of like team competitive play that I try to bring to FGC as well.
Yeah.
You know, like what we did for Defend the Realm, you know, having this team spirit throughout it.
Yeah, having
You know,
them play on each side.
Some things I'm going to be doing with 3v3 on Street Fighter and
Yeah.
also Tekken. You know,
That's
There's
crazy,
some things
3v3.
that we will be doing. We'll even kind of like seasons and pepper some things throughout the week inside of season 2. Just be on the lookout for them because I have a lot of ideas for what we can do inside of 1v1 ARAMs. Random chat battles, things like that. So
Yeah.
I still got a lot of ideas to bring to the table.
There's a demand
sure
for
you
1v1s.
There's a what?
There's a demand for 1v1s in League.
then we've been talking about doing it. So.
Cleveland State.
Make sure you guys follow One Life to Play on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Everything is just
Discord.
One Life to Play. Discord, you could do discord.me/One Life to Play. And that way you can stay updated on all this stuff we're doing. You can be updated on if we're doing 1v1 tournaments. You could be updated on the FGC scene and whatever we've got going on in the lounge. If you guys are in the area, come and check the lounge out, 6070 Broadview Road, Parma, Ohio. It's really, really awesome down here. We're even doing some tabletop stuff during the week. So on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., you can come down here, bring your decks, and play a little bit of Magic with
That's
some
so
people.
sick.
We've talked about maybe in the future, if we get enough people, we'll do some draft nights. So if you guys are into
drafts are
that
fun.
at all, check us
Drafts are
out.
fun.
We've got consoles, everything all over the lounge. We've even got an arcade cabinet. So
Yes.
Oh.
If you're meet up.
Yeah.
Fire.
if you
This
guys
is
are in the
fire.
area, come and check us out.
Oh, it is standard only? I told one of our buddies, Nick B, that I was like, bro, it's like Commander or whatever. It's not
Like the
not
standard-
even like that at all. He's like, yeah, I haven't been in standard in a while. I'm like, dude, it's not. It's like, I think it's like just for fun, bring your cards. I didn't know
Which
it was like
isn't that what
standard
standard is?
only.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I didn't know it was standard only, and like
That just keeps everybody
On the same
On the
format?
same format. So
Yeah.
like let's say our buddy Dodd, for example, has tons of decks. Like standard is probably just like your basic set that most people have a deck that fits in that format.
Well, let me tell you guys about standard if you don't know. Standard is like if you're not playing one of the meta decks, you're probably gonna get rolled in by turn 5. What you guys want to do at your tables, I think, is kitchen table stuff, like the most casual of casual.
Like which is commander?
I think so.
We have to look into
Maybe
that.
ask, but just having it standard only, you're gonna have kids with the decks that you, if you
Like
looked
basically,
online,
if you're not at the card shop keeping up with what's meta, then you're at-
expensive cards, like the cards that are in the meta decks go up in price, so that decks could be like $450. Like you could bring a budget deck for $250, which is already expensive, and then you could get rolled anyway by a
So-
meta deck that has a.
But that's also the reason that we offer the standard, because you get a lot of like kids or the young 20s that want to play, but they don't spend that much on it, and then everything else that they're seeing is
Yeah.
commander nights.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't have the decks for that. You know, they have.
No, we're
just the
saying
decks
it's
that
the
they pick up.
opposite.
But
Commander-
I think he's saying if you're younger, you don't have that card collection to make like.
So like your
like a-
standard inside of a standard format, because you don't have that collection, your standard format against somebody else in that same casual rank would be like that gameplay is still pretty solid. You know, they don't need the meta. I mean, they're gonna come
No,
out
he's
and have
saying
fun.
standard is the meta and commander is like the casual.
To win. So he said like it's the meta to win. If you're going up against someone that's that's skilled, that's also playing the same meta inside of a standard. When you tell them someone that you're playing standard inside of the casual player, that just means, oh, I'm going to just sit down and playing like you're saying at a kitchen table. I just know that I don't need to play commander, because then that requires me also to have even more specialized cards too, though.
Yeah, I think Commander is just my like one example of casual play where like my whole point is your casual fans might see standard and be like, I don't want to go to that. But also I could be pretty wrong about this. I think Dodd, we should ask
Dodd.
him, and
Dodd's
yeah.
better, yeah.
I don't want to go too far into it because like there could be tons of casual,
Mm-hmm.
but my take on standard is I wouldn't go to a standard thing with a budget deck or like a non-meta deck
if
or
you're
like
just
a
a
kitchen
casual.
table deck. Like that's you'd probably just get rolled and not have fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Because you're talking about like that's like Dodd taking his like $2,500 deck to play is like what standard is.
But I think so. It
We'll look
depends
into
on
that
how.
to be a little more specific.
Maybe
You think it's the opposite?
you think it's that okay?
Okay, it might be opposite.
Maybe it's because never mind. That's
I'll
just-
ask him brief.
Yeah, yeah.
But regardless, guys.
Shop talk.
Yeah, shop talk. Regardless, we're doing Magic down here. If you play Magic, regardless, standard, commander, like
Should I do a shop talk podcast?
we should do a shop talk
shit.
podcast. That'd be fun.
Yeah, no, the shop talk podcast could just be me and Zach talking when he gets home from work.
Classic. Worked all
I
day.
just-
Katie's trying to
I
hang out and
just
have
find
dinner,
out
and I'm
everything
just
about
like
work.
talking shop.
It's fine.
I can't help
What's he
it.
say about me?
That's how
You can
Zach.
tell me later.
Yeah, that's how Zach got where he is today, using me as a sounding board, and then coming up with all of his really smart ideas.
It is pretty nice to have someone to just bounce stuff off of 24/7.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't get away from it.
yeah, so
just
we have a
kidding.
couple other videos up here.
Do
If
we?
we want to check them out, we have the Ruined King. It's a League video. Do we know what that's
What is
about?
Ruin King?
I would ask you guys to tell me what it is. I saw it, but it,
Okay,
ju-
we're
it
gonna
looks
Should
check
we
like
out.
watch it first
It
and then-
came out today.
it looks like a league campaign game
Yeah, and I'm interested in checking it out. So we're gonna check that out right now.
with.
I think for the most part, do we have other topics we want to cover before we cap off the podcast
No,
today?
we've chitted and we've chatted.
Yeah, we have done a lot of chitting and a lot of chatting.
Yeah, so
All right, so we're gonna hop into this video as some of our final thoughts, and
Yeah.
maybe this will open up small conversation about just maybe some Riot IP stuff. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about TFT, the League Fighter that's coming out, and
PvE
other kind of
maybe?
stuff they have.
Anyway.
Yeah, we could talk PBE, a little bit about PBE items. Diddy over here has been grinding the PBE, trying to learn the new items and what the meta might be looking like. So
yeah, he
does have
streams
a
it too. So catch him on stream. He's in the PBE like
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I need 3 average viewers to get a, what is it?
Affiliate.
Affiliate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
check it out. It's
Let's
actually
get him there.
it's good stuff. It's Diddy_LOL, and I was not consistently streaming at all in any way for a long time. But now that the PvE has ranked, okay,
So now
so
it's
I've
grind
never
time.
heard of that.
Yeah.
And for me, that means like I'm at 0 LP on my main on clients, a D2 0 LP, and I'm like, I'm happy with the D2 finish, and I was just gonna get a jump on next season as
Yeah.
a coach, as a player, whatever. Now that there's ranked, it's like, how long is there gonna be ranked here? Is it gonna be all the way till the start of next season? Like, can players actually get high elo on PvE? Like, can I break into Masters somehow and be like in the
Like,
best
with the good
builds with the
players,
best
learning the
players?
best.
Like, I think it came out yesterday, and I've already have like 12 games in. If it weren't for tonight, like, I'd be
At home grinding more
next
games.
week. I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna
Should we
hard grind.
cancel?
Huh?
Should we cancel?
Yeah, let's just cancel.
No,
PvE.
I'm trying to kick it. I'm trying to kick.
Yeah,
it.
I think that if that's the case, it's worth the grind, even if that rank doesn't.
It doesn't
like,
matter.
but it's about the practice that you would get if you're
Yeah.
playing with the people who are actually trying to learn
Yes.
and
Right.
practice.
Because
the
soon,
meta.
maybe after 3 days of flushing out, because I'm still getting plus 30, minus 8.
Mm-hmm.
After a few days, once I'm like in the 20s, plus or minus, I will have other people who had my idea to grind it and with a similar win rate.
Yeah.
And then it's on from there. The meta will. And then if there was data websites, if there was data collection on PvE, then
you
it'd
could be
some
really looking at like, what
serious
builds are
business.
being played and what the damage numbers are.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
all that
but
kind
me
of
and Zach
stuff.
were talking. It's really hard to interpret. Zach's like, "What's good on PvE?" It's like, dude, it's so hard to say because I could see trends in my games that are just like an anomaly of an item. Like, oh, this item's sick. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's only 2 games you saw. Like, I'm in
Or
straight
for all you know,
bronze.
next week it's getting nerfed because it's actually nuts. Like it needs.
Okay, that's another point. The changes that they might make between now and then, like it's so hard to really
Yeah.
interpret the meta. But you know, by the start of next season, I'll have a good idea about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
All right, let's hop
Let's
into
get
this video.
Ruined King, a League of Legends story, official announcement trailer. Okay.
I'm pretty interested to see this. So.
Can you turn me up a little bit? Am I 3 over there?
It's one of those.
Yeah, yeah. Brahms, Fortune, Allows, and stuff. So if I'm not mistaken, I think this might be like a Telltale game. Do you know what
What's
those are?
No, these are from Riot Forge. This is one of the Riot Forge games. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So they're making Convergence. They're making all these little small games inside of the Runeterra universe. But they're just a smaller studio of Riot.
So what kind of playstyle? Like what is this?
That's why I'm not 100% sure, but I thought maybe it's a like
This particular one is supposed to play as, I believe, like a Diablo-esque. I believe that was this one.
Oh.
this one is.
Yeah, so like that, I mean that's just obviously a render of a game.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. I
But
just
again-
I thought that it was called something else. I thought maybe this is a like
There's
Telltale
3 of them they're
style.
making. There's 3.
What are
this
they?
is the 3rd one that they've announced. There's Ruined King, Convergence, and I cannot remember the name of the other one.
Okay.
And then I saw something on Reddit. This might be a jungler, but
Oh,
Oh.
that'd be pretty sweet.
Wait, that sword looked like the
Bark. Blade of the Rune King.
no.
Oh.
But
that's
yes,
what it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
No, yes. That's not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
All right.
The,
Do you guys see this though? This is so off topic, but the fact that it came up, we gotta watch it.
An
It's
Xbox
so
fridge.
goofy.
Yeah, we watched this on
Because
Maincast,
everyone was memeing that the new Xbox looks like a fridge, so
so they made
they
one.
made a fridge.
That's funny. That's good stuff.
They're really dragging this out, aren't they?
I like that. It's like all epic.
Intro for-
Dun, 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 dun.
Is there really a green light?
Yo,
inside?
Monster Energy.
There's
Yes,
Monster.
it's really a green light. I love the. I still just love the fact that they put an actual fucking Xbox Series
In
X
it.
in there.
Does not look good.
Wow.
You must be on quite the journey.
Where are we?
Ooh, brains.
I'm going to play it my way.
I love how they're trying to. I don't even know what games they're referring to in these, but
We need a fight. Get ready.
the Halo Infinite cans.
London will be the first city
Don't we have those?
Oh yeah, we do.
Fueled by monster people.
Yeah.
Get your monster.
They're gonna mess up my tomatoes.
That's funny.
Wow.
Can't believe that. All right, I want to check out that.
Yes,
Right.
you guys should be able to see my screen. So, the other game I can't say what it is. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even said that. So, but there are two games that Riot Forge is doing.
Okay.
It is the Ruin King in Convergence, and if you look at
We can or cannot see this.
yeah, I'm about to pull it up for,
Okay, yeah.
for the scene here.
Okay, 'cause I was, like,
it's just a weird way that I'm showing it, but this is actually like how the game looks. The
Oh,
Ruin
okay.
King. So it's like a Diablo.
That looks
sort
like
of.
I would like to play
yeah.
that. That looks good.
But you've got all these champions, so like they're kind of making it like in Diablo you had the witch,
Witch Doctor.
the witch doctor or the monk and
Diablo's-
stuff like that.
So now
it's
you
like-
pick like Garen and
Right.
Alawi,
and they'll probably
that's
have
pretty
more
sweet.
and more, that come out too. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty fun too.
And then which one is Convergence?
So Convergence is that's more of a single player.
That art looks sweet.
Let me see, can I get back?
That's like the scene at the very end of the video we just watched.
Backspace doesn't work. Let me do this. Go back. So Convergence was more of like how do you put this? Like, you ever play like Risk of Rain?
Nah.
So I'm gonna. Have to
Oh,
put the
but
trailer.
I've seen it.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so
I
it's
don't know
more-
if you're gonna be able to hear the sound, but oh,
I hear it.
I can hear the sound.
I hear it as well, but we don't see it.
Yeah, but I don't think they can see it. But so like if you play like Risk of Rain or Transistor,
This looks more of like what I was thinking. The
other one would be
The other one was
a
supposed to be.
Bastion. That's what this is more like.
Okay,
If you ever
yeah,
play
yeah.
Bastion, that's what this is.
I like the art style.
Yeah, I like the
I don't
comic
know if
book
these
look.
people,
Yeah.
if everybody can hear the sound or not. I know it's coming through my computer. But yeah, it's a really cool art style. And Riot Forge is just a smaller studio that's out of. I'm gonna stop this. That's out of. They're out of California, Santa Monica, and they just work on. They work with Riot Music Group a lot.
Like all the KDA stuff.
Yeah.
Their music stuff is like on the up and up, and they're putting a lot more into it. That champion they just released, Seraphine.
Yeah.
They like gave her an Instagram and a Twitter,
Dude.
like to tease her.
You guys want
But
to?
that was smart.
You
was
guys want to
so
hear the
smart.
cynical take on this?
Yeah.
Always. Here we go. Hold on to your pants, folks, because it's about to get real.
It's a boardroom of execs saying we want to have an influencer that is our video game character.
Yeah.
How do we do that? You need to tug on all the streams of the common threads going on. So she has mental illness. And, like, what the hell is that?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She tweets and, like, has problems with... And, yes, the young Americans or young human beings can relate to that. But the point that Monte Cristo made on Twitter that I agree with a lot is you use the human being to create real art, for other human beings to, like, share that experience or, like, relate to it or whatever. That human experience. When you have a boardroom of execs doing it for PR, it's not
real. It's
art.
not real unless it. Yeah.
It's not real. It's not art. It's not.
That's actually a really
It's
good-
gross.
Like they're feeding the narrative of a young girl's life that like people who are fans of the game are following it and
Yeah.
I relate to that. It's like it's relatable and maybe the intentions are good, but it's still just a bunch of people behind the screen what's the best thing that she could post today?
Right. It would be different if there was like a human being with mental illness who like is running that or like was the idea behind it.
Sure.
That makes it different because that's the whole thing with representation in any media. You can actors can play deaf people. They're actors. They're allowed to pretend they're deaf. But if you don't have a real actual deaf person behind the scenes guiding it to make it as realistic and as relatable as possible,
then it comes
that's
off
not
as fake.
authentic.
Yeah.
You're baiting, you're disability baiting, you're deaf baiting, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're right. It's not as authentic and legitimate.
It's almost like they got together and they're like, okay, yes, we're gonna have an influencer. Okay, how do we get interactions? Oh, I know. Let's give her this. Let's give her that. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's like, dude, it's like I don't know.
The idea is good and it's creative and it worked.
It's unique,
but
I think.
it has like caveats to it that make it.
It's just like everything else in the world, right?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
everything else in this world. All right, that's it. I'm going light on you guys because we're on,
Yeah.
we're on podcast.
We'll hear
so.
about this later at our Halloween party.
I'll be like,
All of our friends will be glassy-eyed. Well, we're just talking esports.
Our
We have
friends-
no
Is
idea
you
what's
guys gonna
going on.
stay like this right now, or are you
We're
gonna
not.
just change
Aang
gears?
might just stay like that.
Aang, you gonna stay
Aang-
like that?
Does Aang
I'm
have
gonna
to
go
shower?
home, jam some PB, and
Yeah.
then probably head to Zach's. Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
think
be the
Kate
same
and I
thing.
are doing Ross and Rachel from Friends.
Yeah, and that wasn't actually my idea. That
Oh, I
was
forgot
Zach's
you guys
idea.
are switching up.
Yeah, we're switching
Yeah,
it up
'cause-
because we did this last year, but we wanted to cosplay like as authentic, like nerdy people. I think
Like
on
for
this
the
one.
podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Aang will still be Aang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's legit.
Yeah.
But our friends always have that experience. Just for the record, for anybody who's around me, but what are your guys' names?
Diddy and
Difolge
Tri.
and Tritty. Tritty
Yeah,
and
you got 'em.
Wait, what?
No, you got them.
Trifolge and Diddy.
Yeah.
When people are around us, we start talking about esports and gaming, and people literally
Then you
like
just got, like,
see
5
their
friends.
eyes
Glaze
glaze
over.
over, and they're like,
I see. So for me, I usually wind up in my circles like around the fire pit with my neighbors and friends, and they end up asking me like, "So how's the shop?" And I don't really know if they're asking me like they're interested or is that they're like kind of making conversation because I don't ask them at all. How's the office?
"How's the
Yeah.
how's the
Right.
cubicle,
How's-
Bob?"
Right? How's the bank? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, so I mean, when they ask me that, I really get into it, and then
Yeah.
I don't really notice their eyes get glazed over, but I do find that
You lose
the
'em?
next half-hour conversations on me and what I'm
It
doing,
is.
and
Yeah.
people are asking questions legitimately, but I'm like,
Right.
I did not come out here
Yeah.
to goddamn go
Dude.
through this again.
The,
Like, I do
the
this
thing
every
is,
day.
the thing is for me is like it's hard not to because what we do is so fun. Esports is a fun business
But
to be
also,
in.
it's
when-
every aspect of your life too, because you game for a hobby, and then you come here and you're in the world of gaming.
Then when
so-
you ask a friend, like our great friend Tim, how is work? He's like, oh, I'm working on a new project for a faucet. Like he's an engineer, and then to him, it's like he's been at work all week. He doesn't really care to talk about work anymore. But us,
Yeah.
it's like
But also it kind of ends there too. Like when you know your friend is like a plumber or like an installer, you find that out and they're like, "How was work?" It was good.
yeah.
So did you see that new Kohler
Yeah.
sink? Like it's got the
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
Like,
For
I
me-
don't know what you're talking about, but they can't even get. I don't know if they see. Should they get excited about the new Kohler, the new
Yeah.
mowing?
I don't think so. Like, I
Dude,
don't think
Ray
I
had it
know.
Dude, I have to. This is my whole thing. Like, I so wholeheartedly believe in like following your dreams and trying to make like your make a living off of it. But also, if you're a plumber and you're really good at it, like, I don't know, why not try to like get. I literally pulled up documents the other day and showed Zach like what 3D images are and dental implants, so I could like talk to him about it because I just can't talk to anybody about my job and like
Well, see,
something.
I guess I'm okay because my wife gets hot on some Excel formulas. Like,
Oh.
That's where you know I'm
Hey!
excelling.
I know Excel. I can show her equals X.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, get excited about the new Kohler sink. I don't
Yeah.
know.
For me,
get
it's like-
excited about what makes you excited.
There's like, if someone has work that they don't like talking about, Timmy's a pretty good example. I just ask him about like a thing that's not work. So for everybody,
Sure.
I might have one thing. I'm like, how's this? And if it's not work for you, then it's just not work for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For us, the thing is, we get around each other and we're just trying to bounce ideas off, and
Yeah.
that's when it goes wrong. Because like,
I have a
If
very
we're
Or
talking
is
about
it
partying,
right?
if we're adding partying in the mix, then it's like we're losing track of time and we're like
we have a really
segregated
bad.
and-
I have a really bad like work-life balance. I don't know how to split it up well because I like what we do so much. So when I am like, I'll get up in the morning, I'll play little games, and now I'm ending up streaming. So it is, it's still esports related. And I'm like, pushing towards something.
Yeah.
Then I go right from doing that to working from home, and then I come here, and then I get home at 8:30, get on Discord to relax, play some games, but Diddy's there, and now we're talking about work for the next 2.5 hours, and then it's just that's how my
and
day-to-day
I
goes.
feel like
And
we've been 24/7 for years now.
at
Yeah.
least like three. I feel
Three-
like.
3 years
before
where-
Kate and I moved back to Cleveland from North Carolina. I feel
Try
like
10
my
years.
day-to-day is. What'd
Try
you say?
10?
Try 10 years.
Hey, Larry's
Yeah.
the OG.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said,
That's
I'm
like-
a OG.
But and the thing about it is 6 of that was spent at Microsoft. So imagine my
Oh.
time
yeah.
working for someone, and it was just games. Like,
Yeah.
So, Larry, if
Yeah.
you could give us a quick...
well, no, I guess working for someone. I'm sorry.
Larry, do you have a-
I always do you doing
I'm
that.
part of
Do
the
you have a
team
camera?
now.
Huh?
Do you have a camera over there or no?
There is a camera somewhere, but I don't think we
All right.
never set we never turned this camera on.
Okay, don't worry
at
about it.
LSS,
Just-
so I'm
but
not
go
turning
ahead,
this on.
Bob.
I can be secret.
Do you have like a short story 2-minuter out there for everyone about how you got your first location going? And you said you started at Microsoft. What was
First
your
location.
path?
It's probably not a 2-minute story.
I mean, I got time.
Yeah.
I guess it started when so I was working at a nonprofit organization. I was HR manager. I did payroll and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then opportunity came along. There was this guy. He did this political podcast. But I was asking him about it because I was always trying to get into podcasting, and I was doing podcasting for a group called Gamer Dads, and they were in the UK, and they wanted to do a Gamer Dads USA and have me lead it up. So I was really interested in this podcast thing that this guy was doing. So I'm like, where do you do it at? Because it was different than everybody else I knew that did podcasting. They always did it at home and stuff like that. But he went to the studio in downtown Cleveland and did a podcast there, and he just rented out the space. So I was like, I want to do
Okay.
it that way, so I had to bother my wife and stuff like that. So I got this space, started paying this guy to come in and do a podcast an hour a night. During that time, we decided to bring in a couple of our friends. And this is me, at that time, it was me and another guy doing it, Dave Spano. He actually works in radio now, too. He's been working in radio. So he really helped me out a lot with the sound and getting the format together and stuff. And then I asked Luigi Eats Mushrooms to come on board because we wanted to have what we call resident gamers, just to kind of be hanging out in the studio and playing a game while we were podcasting and talking about games.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was that vision after the first week that me and Lou said, wouldn't it be sweet if there was a place that we could just go to and they had the games already set up? Because we started talking about like planning shows and like,
Yeah.
oh, we got to bring in this console and we started
Oh my
bringing in
God,
TVs
I
to the
love
studio.
hearing this.
We were bringing a green screen into the studio before, and we only had the green screen one time. Other than that, we literally had this 32-inch TV that we just set behind us. And we would call up, I had a MacBook Pro, we would call up all our interviews. We were interviewing people like Dave Fenoy, John St. John, folks from like THQ. So we were doing all these interviews on this screen and just calling them in, and then playing games in the background. And we were like, it would be cool if there was a place where we'd have to lug this every week, to do this kind of show. If there was this place that had games set up that was ready for us to go and just podcast in.
Okay.
So we wrote the plan for what is now One Like to Play Gaming and Esports Lounge. But instead of that, before we did that, we knew technology wasn't there because we at that point already envisioned cloud gaming, cross save. We had that on paper 9 years ago, and we were still in 360, so nobody was ready for it. So we just shelved
Yeah.
it. But we knew we couldn't stay in that studio downtown, so we decided that we would move the studio to. I had just moved to West Park, which is west of Cleveland, and I had this heated, finished garage, and we said we'll move the studio to
That's
my
the studio.
garage.
Garage
Yes!
band. Garage band
That
time.
was, that was 1.0.
Let's go.
It later then moved to my basement once I bought a house in Brunswick, and then we moved to Westlake. We got the place open. I met Kari, Nerd Girl. I met her when I was working at Microsoft, and She had an idea that she wanted to do a game store that specialized in just all sorts of games, the ability just to come in and experience games, but on like a retro level, classic consoles, you know, a place to go and get your game fix, you know, stuff like that. So I said, hey, you should look at this.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had already invited her on a podcast, so she was already a member of the show and everything. And I was like, hey, you should take a look at this if you want to do this with me. And
How long ago was this?
This was about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
We decided to quit our jobs that winter, and we went and did this.
Dude.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
So, okay, so as you know.
I know I was all off screen for that.
Yeah, I know. I
That's
wish
all
the
You got our
camera-
genuine reactions,
But
which
I-
every
Yeah.
time I
that's-
looked at
you
the
will
screen,
find
it
that
was just
story
smiles.
Yeah.
other places too. That story is
So what's
That's a good
what's
one.
your advice for us 3 young entrepreneurs who like tried starting our own business?
so it's the thing that we're doing now that that we built the place for, is that you have an opportunity, a place to go to. Like for when we started this 10 years ago, we only knew of this studio that did podcasts, and they did all sorts of other shows. There was a guy on there that just talked about rock music. There was a guy on there that talked about wrestling, pop culture stuff. It was all sorts of people that did shows out of that studio. So we were just this gaming element, and really nobody wanted to pay attention to it because it was a video game.
It's like before its time, kind of.
Right.
You were
viewership.
too early.
We were always far. I hope this, like, that's why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, I'm not even going to mention that, but we are doing something to kind of keep these kind of things with record. But the ideal is we were always ahead of our time. So our shows were on before Twitch was Twitch. It was Ustream or Justin TV before that.
I remember
So
Justin
we were Justin
TV.
TV, and then it was Ustream. We also played around with live stream, but our most popular showing and our most popular gain in audience, and that's where we got a lot of our base from and brand growth, maybe about 7 years ago, was when we were on Blip TV. So Blip
heard
TV
of it.
showed our stuff throughout Europe, Asia, Indonesia, Australia. So we picked up a lot of our fan base there that helped us grow on social media. So yeah, it was Blip TV
That's
that really
awesome.
helped that.
That's crazy. So before Twitch, so they were ahead of their time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were streaming games on Justin TV before Justin TV realized it should do games.
Yeah.
When it was
So-
just a live streaming
Right.
platform and
So,
not a
and
gaming
then we tried out. That's why we
platform.
tried out live stream. That's why we always joke about Smashcast, because Smashcast was like this thing before it was like ever, like before you had Hitbox or HitCat. It's been so many different streaming
Yeah,
platforms.
there has
And
been.
that's why when people tell me about like the power of Twitch, I'm like, bro, you have no idea. Twitch will leave. Like Twitch will not it won't survive. It'll get too big, just like everything else has gotten too big for what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole point of it is to like give people the opportunity to grow, and Twitch is at the point where it is becoming increasingly difficult to
If
be
Twitch
seen
is- if
because how many
Twitch
people
is-
do it.
If Twitch understands what Twitch is right now, Amazon needs to scoop it up and put it into Amazon Prime as a channel, as a network. They need to then curate the shows and make just set programming outside of Twitch. I'm just telling you, the
Like
standard.
then what
basically
does
what
that
they
mean?
do on their like featured video at the top of those streams, they would play that on like.
But what
Right.
does that mean for small time
That's
streamers?
what I'm saying. The casual gamer's time has already passed on Twitch, and they need to realize it. You really
Okay.
should realize it now. You need to be going into YouTube and Facebook gaming. Those are the ones that's the next one up.
And
You
those
need to
actually have
realize
better
now.
opportunities now
Right.
for growth.
And I
Like-
know I'm saying this on Twitch, but hey, guess what? Through Restream, I'm also saying this on YouTube
Yeah.
and Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the reason
Yeah.
why.
like
Yeah.
YouTube now, there's so many more resources to like be discovered as far as like search goes,
Yeah,
recommended videos. It gives the smaller channels more opportunity to be seen, whereas like Twitch, you're just automatically way at the bottom of the list if you have one.
So
you know.
for my stream, what would you suggest? Like, is YouTube an option?
I've thought
Facebook
about
an option?
doing YouTube myself, but like I'm just doing Twitch right now because I haven't, sat down with, to look. Okay, how do I do this
Yeah.
all on YouTube now?
Yeah.
But at some point, I want to. I think it's better. Like for me, for example, I've already got 500 subs on YouTube
Right.
versus like what I
Oh.
have on Twitch. Like I have videos with views, and that increases just my chances
Visibility
for
and-
Yeah,
So
for
like somebody
sure.
says, always the first question is like stream where your friends are and stream where you get your reach. Like when you
Yeah.
but they don't follow up with the question of who do you talk to though. So if you're always tweeting and you're always or you're always on Facebook or you're always on Instagram, then it kind of tells you where your reach should be. Instagram plays very nice with YouTube, not with Twitch.
Okay.
But it also plays very nice with Facebook gaming. And you may not like Facebook, but if you use Instagram, then Facebook gaming is probably where you want to be.
Okay.
Because you can take a lot of that and push that out through Instagram as far as who you need to talk to say that I'm online and I'm streaming.
Yeah, like your story, like they're linked together now, so like anything you could have it set.
Twitch doesn't have to. If you realize of all these other platforms, Twitch is the only one that does not have a social platform.
Yeah,
It's
and they've been
truly
talking.
just a stream.
People have been showing numbers of these platforms, like YouTube. It's like over the last couple months, 6 months, every month it's going up, creeping closer and closer to Twitch viewership. It's still like less than half, but recently there's been bigger channels like moving over. So they did like, there was a stream of Among Us that if you added up all the streamers, it was like 700,000 live viewers on YouTube Gaming for that like stream of them playing Among Us.
My last 2 points have got to be the ideal of when you look between Twitch and YouTube, it is a very stark difference when you could tell a viewer that or the viewer can see like subscribe, and subscribe is free.
Yeah.
That's you
YouTube versus follow and then subscribe. I can subscribe and I can feel like I'm supporting you more, and it's free for me to do it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, when you look at Twitch, again, no one is. My 10-year-old son doesn't scroll Twitch to see what's on.
Right. I don't.
He
even
scrolls
do that.
YouTube to see what's on. He watches live and he watches recorded. And the bottom line is, if you're only on Twitch and then you record it and you put it on YouTube, why are you making Twitch the middleman? Why are you giving Twitch the opportunity to be the middleman?
Yeah.
Just stream it.
So
live
I don't
Twitch is
on
gonna
YouTube.
turn me off right now.
How does that work?
I'm surprised we didn't get shut out.
How does that work with YouTube Gaming and like your YouTube channel? Is it the same subscribe button
The same
and
subscribe
everything?
button.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that to me is like
Hey
the
boys,
biggest
let's make the
thing.
move. Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Jump
yeah.
ship.
Hey, we've been talking.
There's
about
I'm telling you,
whispers
there's
around the
there's
lounge
an
about
FGC
it.
side who that I won't move. That's where I can't make the move. So we've talked about that, just in our shop talk.
Well, you can do both, right? You can do that. Any
We're
combination.
finding ways to do both and leverage both. But again, I think even if you're a small streamer now, you want to start building on Twitch, or you've already put yourself into Twitch and you realize the same things that we're kind of realizing, just be focused on setting yourself up for the contingency. Because I don't imagine, I think I've said this on Maincast, I do not imagine Twitch going beyond 2021.
Really, that soon?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. I mean,
So
they've gotten.
we have it on film, guys.
When you get politicians to jump on Twitch and take half a million viewers in one night in one stream, what is that? Twitch doesn't take anything from. I mean, that doesn't really do anything for Twitch because she's never gonna go back and do it again.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if
you
she
don't know.
doesn't do
She
it-
might now after she saw that she got 500,000
But
people.
if Twitch realizes Twitch could be fucking Netflix and throw a special up there
True.
and know that that's what she's
Yeah.
doing,
There's
plan and
vacuum
program
space. Like
it,
they're
like,
not make. Yeah.
Twitch, you can realize, and it's on Amazon. If you just realize what you have the power to do,
Yeah.
you could do
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Larry has thought about this.
yeah,
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
we have it on
Fan
audio
ass,
now. So
all right.
2021.
We'll come back.
If Twitch is here by 2022, we just know
I said
everything
it won't
Larry
go.
says.
No,
is
I
true.
said it will go away. I was saying Twitch will be a whole different picture.
Yes.
After 2020.
If the Twitch as we know it now
Yeah.
Yes.
is not the same in 2022,
Yeah.
then Larry's called it, and we have it on record.
Look
right
at the DMCA stuff that just
This is
dropped.
all
That
the
shit
record.
is-
Hey,
I heard
Why do you think they had to do that?
that.
If you want production teams and production studios to do it the right way and give you legitimate content, or you're setting yourself up to be a network, you've got to make that call now.
I saw people like artists and stuff signing a petition basically saying this is too strict. Like guys, like a lot of artists understand that. Yeah, if a guy streams your music off Spotify, maybe 30,000 people are listening to it for free, but how many of those people are now going to listen to your music because they've just heard it on their favorite
And they liked the
streamers?
song.
Yeah.
And
then
I've
they
done
go
that.
YouTube it and then they watch your video 10
I've
like
done
5
that
times.
before
Yeah.
from a
They
from a
basically want
stream.
they want Twitch channels to be radio stations that if you're going to stream that, and you've got to pay for the license
Right,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And if you do that, you just made, guess what, a cable network.
Yeah. Jeez.
I
It's
hate
actually
I hate the music side of this shit.
Yeah.
Me too. Like YouTube's still the same thing. You can't really play copyrighted music. It mutes your VODs, but at the same time, there's a give and take. Like, man, for me to stream for like 4 hours and then you're just listening to
And
lo-fi hip hop that whole time, I'd rather just be listening to like what I really like.
Yeah, it's actually huge.
Mhm.
It's like such a big difference. You're chilling and you're vibing. The music you listen to is massive. And for me, I have to listen to non-copyright. And then when that playlist gets over, if I'm in the middle of of a game and it goes to the next playlist, and then what
It's
if
just playing some like
it
JID.
could be playing anything?
Yeah.
And then what if that song's not copyright, and then I go and make the play that I want to clip, and
Right.
then
Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole. That's just a
I know, right?
conversation for another day. I think we're going to wrap it up because we've been here for a hella long time.
2 hours.
We've been here for 2 hours.
That's about right. I mean,
Yeah,
last
that's pretty good.
podcast we
Yeah.
said an hour. It was 2 hours. This time we said an hour and a half, and it was 2
Yeah.
hours.
So it feels good. I feel like we got a lot of stuff covered that we wanted to talk about. And you guys got to look into who we are a little bit more, which is fun. Not just a professional LSS
Yep.
setting.
Let us, you guys, let us know if you guys want to see more podcasts and stuff like this. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I like just getting in, down here and
Yeah.
Oh,
hanging
yeah.
out and chatting game
I like
stuff.
it a lot.
Yep.
A lot of like the videos and stuff. I try to like the Bjergsen thing. I knew about it, but like tried not to watch the video until
Yeah.
watching it live
Yeah, yeah.
here and stuff like that. So let us
Yeah.
know if you guys want to see more podcast stuff going on from us.
Yes. Let
but-
us know. And I think we'll see you soon. I don't remember the date of the first qualifier for season 2.
I can tell you right now before
I'm
we
so
go.
sorry.
Freestyle sign off,
It
Katie. Hurry.
is week 1 will be November 14th. So if
Okay.
you guys are interested
That's
in
soon.
making it into the LSS, you better come with your A game for
Yes.
How do we get in contact to register?
You can go to, let me get the link right here.
Let me get the link right here. Yes,
What
we'll
I'll do,
post it.
I'll get it
Join the
posted for
Discord.
anybody in the chat today on Twitter.
And in our
it will be.
Discord.
We are going to be using Battlefy from now on.
Yes!
Yeah, it's a
That's
Let's
yeah.
go.
League players have definitely used it more often,
Yeah.
and we are a little more used to it on this end. So we're going to go ahead and use Battlefy, but I'll get the link up there for you guys today on Twitter. Twitter.com/OneLifeToPlay. Follow us, and that way you can be updated for when we'll be doing qualifiers.
Yep. All right, say bye and then zoom in on me for my freestyle outro
Classic.
that I'm doing on the spot.
We will see you guys soon.
Are you zooming?
Zach, I love the decorations. by
We're
the way.
zooming. You better be doing it.
No, I'm going to do it when it gets to me.
Oh, it's on us.
Oh,
both.
it's
Here,
on
I'll do
us?
this.
Okay, yeah, get out.
It just disappears.
Goodbye.